Howdy, everybody, and welcome to Random Rhapsody's Æther-Shanties. I am Matthew R. Dawson, your friendly neighborhood host and game master for the SAGAS campaign, and joining me around my virtual table tonight are Alyssa, Joe, KOINES, Nico, and Nobody. Say hi, everyone.
Hello.
Howdy, everyone.
Now, before we begin, we do have a few announcements to get through, starting with a word from our sponsor for this campaign, SAGAS. SAGAS stands for Setting and Genre Agnostic System and was created by KSRPGs. SAGAS is a universal rules-light TTRPG designed to help you easily tell your stories in any world imaginable. You can build your characters and choose from over 100 unique features, or you can also use guidelines for quickly making your own unique abilities. SAGAS promotes helping allies over helping yourself, and encourages teamwork to succeed in challenges. In any setting you can come up with, SAGAS can provide a smooth integration of rules to create a unique framework to help create your adventures. SAGAS uses a check-based roll-under-resolution system, which is unique to most TTRPG systems. Your character features can change the size of the dice you roll, and your allies can help you by giving you more dice to roll, improving your chances of getting the lowest possible number, which is what you need to succeed. There's a 35-page Kickstarter over on DriveThruRPG. Or I'm sorry, there's a 35-page SAGAS playtest, which is available at DriveThruRPG, and the Kickstarter for SAGAS is now live. You can find the link in the chat and show descriptions. Now, this week on Random Rhapsody, we will not be airing our usual Curse of Strahd campaign, SAGAS of Sonnet of Blood. Instead, we are going to be putting on a special episode, so stay tuned for more information about that. Now, you can keep up to date on our schedule and everything we do by following us on Facebook as Random Rhapsody TV and on Twitter as @random_rhapsody and on Blue Sky as @random rhapsody. And that's going to do it for the announcements. So join us as we return to the shattered world of Loroupa and join a new group of heroes and their Æther-Shanties. And we're back. Now, for this campaign, we are offering up the Random Rhapsody coin to whomever gives us the recap of our previous session. If I do the recap, I get the coin, and I get to use it in all manner of ways to hinder the team's progress. So no one wants me to have that, which is fair. So, with that in mind, who wants to do the recap this week?
That'll be me.
Okay, well, Dr. Bloom, tell us what happened last time on Æther-Shanties.
Well, on Æther-Shanties, the squad finally got all together. Dr. Bloom met the rest of the squad when they were leaving from their carriage and escorted them to the barracks while also exploring the town. We met Sergeant Vermax, as well as Captain Romer. We noticed some mysterious files. We know that something is up in the woods, and people have been sent out to the woods, but they have not come home. And we were brought on our first patrol, where Sergeant Vermax got us to stop a bar brawl from, escalating, which we did through straight up scare tactics and a lot of, not a lot of, cracking skulls. A lot of just stop with this nonsense energy. And that was where we last left off on Æther-Shanties.
Muted, I think.
You're muted, Matt.
So,
My bad. Well, anyway, there you go. There's the random Rhapsody coin. Don't forget to use it. It's only going to last the session. Okay. Well, everybody, good news is yeah, you just finished off a bar fight and managed to deal with it relatively painlessly for both you all and the villagers here in town, which is great. Thanks to your efforts in resolving the bar fight, your group has earned a little bit of respect from your group's leader, Sergeant Vermax. After a celebratory ale given to you by the tavern's proprietor, you all spend the remainder of the afternoon patrolling the village for any trouble, while the rest of the Commodores finish up with the rest of their business for the day. You spend the day just kind of walking about. The town, as you've seen, not really all that big. Not a lot of space to walk around, and you can actually make a full rotation around the village in little more than an hour's time, and that's even considering like winding around buildings and stuff like that. So by the end of the day, when the sun is finally beginning to set, A, you've walked a lot. B, it's been extremely boring. And C, no doubt you are all pretty freaking tired. Fortunately, you had been promised dinner once your patrol was done. And I imagine by this point, everyone's stomach is beginning to rumble as you all make your way back towards the barracks. Now, during that time, you do have a little bit of a moment to kind of chat or do whatever you want to as you're making your way back towards the barracks house. So my question to everybody is, do you do anything while you're making your way back to get dinner?
So I just gotta warn you, I mean, I know they promised us dinner, but don't get your hopes up, right? I've been living on canteen food for years now, and it's never gonna be as good as you hope it is. It'll work. Just, don't keep your expectations reasonable. That's all I'm saying.
You don't even want to know the things that I've ate on the road running from the authorities, so I'm down for whatever.
I gotta ask, what does a rock person eat?
That's a question I've asked a lot. Turns out, food.
Oh, so I know you're a construct of some kind, right? I didn't know what y'all would eat.
Yeah,
I didn't
no,
know you actually needed to eat.
I didn't either. There was definitely a week I went without eating anything just to see if I could. It didn't end well.
Sergeant Vermax kind of looks back at you, Skarn, as you're saying that, and they kind of look up at you and they say, "Now, that's all well and good for learning purposes starting out, but I certainly hope now that you're here in town and working as a guard, you won't be attempting any dangerous experimentation on yourself like that."
I mean, what's dangerous really when you think about it?
Well, anything that could stop you in doing your duties.
Okay. I can work within those guidelines.
Yes, you must play it safe at all times, and if you're planning on doing any sort of experimentation whatsoever, make sure you do it on the ground floor.
Well, the good news is I already did a lot of the real obvious stuff years ago, so like no worries. I've already tested falling off from high places. Yes, it definitely does hurt. No, I won't be doing it again.
So I feel like I'd like for you, Skarn, to attempt to reassure your sergeant that you're not going to go, breaking the barracks or doing anything that could potentially harm you. This is not It's not a difficult roll. You're going to be rolling to persuade them. I feel like the DC for this is going to be a 7.
Okay, fair enough.
Now, if you have something that you can you can use to improve the dice roll, you can explain that now. Otherwise, it's going to be a D10.
No, I don't have any traits that would specifically affect this roll. Unless you'd be willing to say that being thick-skinned and durable is convincing. I don't think that's...
No, yeah, that doesn't seem like it would apply in this situation, but good try.
Pretty much what I thought. Okay. Difficulty 7. Alright.
Okay. Well,
Yay!
Yeah, you rolled a 6, which is a success. So you tell Veramax this, and they nod a little bit and say, "Okay, good to know. Good to know. I'm glad to hear you've spent most of your time doing experimentation long before you came here. That's good to know." And they do seem moderately reassured.
Well, I mean, there's plenty of other experiments to do. I mean, just a little while ago, Zolos was talking about skincare. There's plenty of things to think about. Do I even have skin? That's a question.
We're going to find out.
Well, that is an interesting question, but I don't think skincare is dangerous or would hinder you from your duties. So that's
exactly.
That is a reasonable experiment. As you're getting closer to the barracks, all of you can smell just some amazing aromas coming from the inside of it. Veramax sniffs as well, and they just kind of give you a grin and they say, Cookie's famous stew. You're going to like this. Purely vegetarian, but with so much umami. They forage mushrooms in the forest, and it's just incredible. You come inside the barracks. Yeah? You make your way inside the barracks. And the smell goes from a 9 to an 11. All of your stomachs immediately start to rumble at the aroma of this food. You can see quite a few other guardsmen in the main foyer of the barracks right now. They are moving about. They all have big bowls full of steaming hot something. It's kind of brown, and you see a lot of vegetables, root vegetables, and things like that in it, along with some big hunks of bread. It just looks incredible. There is a long table set up in the main foyer with a huge cauldron. And the individual standing behind it is huge, hulking figure. They have long, kind of tapered, rounded ears and a very long bovine nose behind this curly mop of brown hair that just extends all out their head like a gigantic fro. The individual is tall, on the same level as Skarn, tall. They have soft kind of horns sticking out from the top of their head. Their skin is kind of a dusky brownish color, and they have very large doe-like eyes as they look down on you. For those of you who can't figure out what I'm describing, the individual cooking dinner is a furbolg. They have long arms that are just pulling these huge heaping ladles full of stew into bowls as the guardsmen just kind of come up along the table, grab a bowl and a spoon. There's bread on the table, and then the furbolg is just slopping down these huge heaping portions into the bowls. Veramax looks to you all and they say, "Well, squad, I think that does it for today. You all did some great work. Go ahead and get in line and get some grub. Lights out for you all is 8 o'clock, which gives you plenty of time to grab some grub and do any self-care you might need before you hit the sack. I will be waking you all up very early tomorrow morning with the sun. We are going to be doing calisthenics and exercises before we set out for our first patrol of the day. Other than that, you all have a good evening. Dismissed!" And they kind of give you like a sharp, straight back salute before doing an about face and marching directly up to the table to get a bowl themselves. So, what do you all do? Don't everybody jump up at once.
I
Yeah, I mean, Zolos would just be like, he's like, "I'm gonna get in line, guys. I don't know about you." It's like, "I'm a little hungry. I did get punched in the face, so I need something to help bolster myself."
Yeah, fair.
Yeah, whoa, am I tired out from all that fighting? Let's get some grub.
Oh, is that what you called it, huh? It's
Well,
alright,
yeah,
buddy,
I
won't
mean,
judge.
couldn't let them just beat the crap out of each other.
Did all that fight in front of the table, huh?
Look, I was to be told that they needed to have socks on.
You don't have to. You can tell me what you were looking for coin, weren't you?
Perhaps. Gold's always of interest in my experiments and everything as a conductor, so...
You don't gotta lie to me, bud. I won't ever judge you. Don't worry.
What sort of experiments do you do?
You wouldn't understand. It's complex scientific stuff I'm researching,
You realize that's just going to make me ask like 100 more questions.
Here, figure it out for yourself. Maybe you can help me with this equation. And he shoves a small book into your hand. It's got like a green cover with like silver inlaid for the title, and it's Æther and Æther, a study of theoretical interdimensional travel.
Ooh, they didn't have this one at the archive back at Fort Keir. I might need some time with it, but I'll do my best.
Got it the day before I shipped out to here. Fresh off the presses. I still only understand about half of what it says, but I'm figuring it out.
Yeah, Skarn, this little book that Dreezy puts down in front of you, I imagine by this point you're all gathered up your food and have gone to sit down at a table. So the book that's placed down in front of you is complicated, to say the least. It's a bunch of letters and numbers and a bunch of weird drawings. I feel like this would probably just be a reason it out check, This is straight intelligence. You're trying to figure out what exactly is written here. But like I said, this is hella complicated, which means you're going to be rolling you got to roll really high to get this. You're aiming for a 3.
Oof, okay. I don't suppose investigate would apply to this.
Oh,
Gather information from surroundings.
You know what? I'll allow it.
Right.
Yeah, you've done a lot of experimentation, so you probably know just the basic scientific jargon and stuff,
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Well,
Equal
tests and
equal
control
MC squared.
groups and
all right.
Wow.
nice.
Very nice. So you rolled a 3, and you're starting to reason it out, and you're okay, wait a minute. This equals that, and this means this. And when you start plugging this, and this together, and then you start looking at the diagram underneath, and you start putting everything together, and you turn to Dreezy, and you give him this elaborate answer. You start talking about the metaphysics of energy that transcends the material plane, and harnessing that energy and drawing it in. You start explaining how it can basically revolutionize magic by using an alternate energy source. And you start explaining about energy sources and things like that. That's what this equation is that Dreezy's so stuck on. But it makes sense to you, and you start explaining this, and you kind of have a little bit of a good grasp of Aether mechanics.
Nice.
Oh, the power comes from somewhere else. Now I get it.
Yeah. It's definitely a little different, because mostly I just make up my own stuff, right? So
But how do we get there?
Terminology is weird, but yeah.
Yeah, maybe in the next chapter I can figure out how we get to the other place.
Well, now, Skarn, the one thing you can definitely tell from reading this is very theoretical physics kind of thing. The book itself, as you're kind of glancing through it and you're reading it, it's very much in the theory stage when this particular book was written, and it's more talking about it in terms of hypothetical scenarios and hypothetical ways of doing this. But you can also tell there's a lot that is unrefined and would need quite a bit of work to develop these beyond the hypothesis stage.
Well, that's okay. Hypothesis just means something we can test, so we'll figure this out, no problem.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Absolutely. You've been sitting there kind of talking and eating. Everyone's just been listening to, some of you have been listening to Skarn and Dreezy talk about the science stuff. I kind of imagine that Zolos in the middle of the meal just notices that his spoon is a little bit reflective and then starts staring at it.
Oh, yeah, definitely. He's like, God damn, you look good. Sorry, what were you saying about sciencey stuff? Oh, never mind. Forget that. He's just right back to. Whew. This is what you guys get to see every day, right? Damn. Anyway, everybody like their stuff, huh? Is everybody good?
It is pretty tasty stew. I mean, it's definitely better than the boot camp food you've all been stuck with the last handful of months. So, like, to you all, well, to most of you other than Zolos, this is like fine dining.
Oh,
Zolos, on the other hand, I feel like...
I almost want to think that he was somehow able to smuggle in, like, you know, some like really solid like seaweed-based salads or something like that to boot camp. Like somehow he had a hookup, like, you know, that he was getting some good shit. But yeah, no, this is it's decent for him, but he's used to high dining.
Mommy sent him care packages.
Probably, yeah. Hey, he's a mama's boy. He ain't ashamed of that.
Hey, live your truth, buddy. Live your truth. While that's been going on, Ezra, Lark, what have the two of you been thinking about?
I didn't think yelling at them would work.
Ezra just kind of fluffs up a bit and tries to straighten the feathers and just stares. I've been very fascinated by this, you know, theoretical physics conversation that we're having about ether mechanics, so I was not thinking about anything else. Yes, super into it.
No, that's valid. That's absolutely valid.
I think if we take this first part about harnessing the power from other dimensions and funnel it into this diagram where we create a small device, then maybe we could travel there.
I mean, that makes sense to me, but I'm definitely not much on the device creating, so afraid I can't really have any input there.
I got some little scraps and tools around. I can fashion something up.
What do you need? What would you need? What else would you need to make this device? That's what I want to know.
Just some,
Well, a lot of math for one
metal
thing.
and flux and gold and you know, a rare crystal.
Okay.
And what device are you guys talking about? Like, you're talking about travel, so is it like a vehicle or?
No, much better. This is instant portal technology.
Well, I mean,
in theory, the portal version would be years and years away. We'd have to start small just by pulling power, that sort of thing. You know, just to like prove that it works in the first place. But
You
it
gotta
suddenly
dream
occurs to me
big.
that
Look at me.
Skarn, you would know for sure that you need at least 1.21 gigawatts of power to get that sort of thing off the ground.
you know, fascinating as this is, it suddenly occurs to me that maybe punching holes in the fabric of reality is exactly what our commanding officer was warning me not to do. So I don't know.
Shouldn't have even told you. Don't worry, he snatches the book back. Don't worry about it.
I thought punching holes and stuff was exactly what you were supposed to be doing.
As Zolos says this, looking up from his spoon for the first time in a few minutes, suddenly you all hear a very loud slam of a door, followed by a thunk kind of sound coming from the front foyer of the barracks. You all kind of turn and look that way, and you see someone wearing a cloak. They have a bow slung over their shoulders. They're wearing a big, wide, floppy hat that's kind of pulled down over their head. Big, bushy beard underneath that floppy hat, like so much so that you can barely see little more than a couple eyes peering out of it. They walk into the room, looking about, and the moment that happens, you see Sergeant Veramax stand up from the table and go hurrying over to the individual coming in. The two of them begin whispering to one another. Veramax kind of puts their head in close to the cloaked individual, and they're kind of hush talking. What do you all do when you see this happen? Does anybody try to listen in or anything like that?
Yeah, I try to get closer.
You're going to try to get closer? Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to crawl under the tables and be stealthy.
Okay. Make me a sneak closer roll. Yeah, I think probably because they're both kind of talking and huddled together, they're not really paying too much attention. So this is probably going to be a 6.
And D10
Mhm.
to roll, right?
Unless you have something that allows you to use a little smaller.
Nope. I rolled a 3.
Very nice. Yeah, go ahead, Lark.
Nope. Never mind.
No, you can do something too. You absolutely
Nope.
can.
We're all good. I was just rereading through my thing, and I have meek, so I'm intimidated by authority figures. So no.
No, that's fair.
No.
Fair enough. Okay.
I retract.
Dreezy, you just kind of slide down off the bench you're sitting on and get underneath the table and then just go creeping between Skarn's legs and make your way over to the wall and kind of put your back up against it and begin listening. What you hear is this. The individual in the cloak, he has a very gruff voice, and he says, "We came upon a clearing in the woods. Something, I couldn't tell what it was that was beyond it, but as we were making our way closer, we saw several bodies of James and Ricardo and Timothy. They were all on the ground. We snuck closer and we were attacked immediately by something. I couldn't see it. It was too dark, but it lashed at us, striking us, throwing us all back. Reevden, he was with me as we were. He was with me on the search. Reevden, he went down immediately and was pulled inward. He screamed for me to run. I grabbed the nearest person I could and just pulled them out away from the clearing. And then I ran back to town as quickly as I could. Veramax says, you grabbed somebody. Who was it? Timothy. I put him in the foyer on the table. He's, oh my God, we got to talk to the captain immediately. Veramax says, of course, right this way. And they both begin to turn. As that happens, Dreezy, I want another stealth check from you. This is you hiding against the wall, like not moving, hoping that maybe Veramax's eyes work like a T-Rex or something, and they only sense movement. So another stealth roll. This is going to be a little more difficult. This is going to be a 5.
Do I get any sort of advantage for being small? That's one of my traits.
What does small say?
I take up 1 zone capacity instead of 2.
I'm going to say not for this one. If you had something that enhanced your stealth, maybe?
You said DC 5?
Yeah, DC 5. Wow.
Boom! On the 3 train.
Nice.
You just disappear against the wall, like just frozen stiff. Everyone else is looking unobtrusively away from Dreezy as both Veramax and the woodsman make their way to the captain's room. They knock on the door. You hear come in a few moments later, and they both enter into the room and close the door. So Dreezy, you kind of you relax a little bit, successfully not being seen after listening in on the conversation. What do you do?
Nice. I don't know what's going on out there. Gotta figure it out. Could be bad stuff. I go back to my friends and I tell them what I overheard.
Okay. How do you all react when hearing that news?
Did this happen inside the walls?
I don't know. Said out in the woods.
It's
Be
supposed to have been
anywhere.
that patrol that went off and investigated the meteor or whatever.
Would make sense.
The one that Captain was or Sergeant was so distracted by?
Yeah. The one that
Could
we
be.
were told we didn't need to worry about because other guards were going to investigate it. But if there's something out there attacking people, some sort of meteor monster, or maybe something that just really likes it, I don't know. That's concerning. That's very concerning.
Yes.
Meteor monster.
Do you
Never
think they'll
heard
come
of it.
close to the town? Or... Huh.
Well, if it just wants the meteor, then if we leave that alone, we should be fine, but who knows?
Maybe it came with the meteor.
Don't meteors fall from the sky? What could have
Yeah.
survived that?
I don't think we want to truly know what could survive it, but we might have to find out. Let's see.
I mean, that's why I thought I might be able to fall long distances. It turns out that's not true, but...
Do you have like a
no,
crack
rocks
somewhere
the
from that?
sky. Yeah, definitely. Just like all straight down the torso. We're talking huge belly flop right off the walls of Fort Keir.
Everyone just looks to see this long crack down the side of their chest. Well, the woodsman did say that he brought a body with him and left it in the foyer. Does anybody go to look is the question.
I don't think I would know anything about a body.
Ezra's gonna check it out, for sure. Yeah, but if nothing else, to see if there are any fading signs of life, if there's anything to be done.
Okay. Do you tell anybody that, or do you just kind of get up from the table and start making your way over?
I would tell everyone that. It's rather concerning, also. I don't think anybody wants a body in the foyer. I think that probably makes everyone uncomfortable, so we should see if there's anything we could do before we just let it stay there.
Okay.
Anybody want to come with?
I'll go with.
Yeah, if you need a pair of hands. I don't
Yeah,
know
let's
much
do
about
it.
medicine, but I'm willing to try if you need me.
Okay.
Alright, let's check it out.
Dreezy like snatches up his book that they were looking at and like slurps down his stew real quick because he'd been like looking at the book like pretty much the whole time and hadn't touched his stew. And he's like, "Whoa, that's good. Yeah, let's go."
Okay. Does anybody not go check out the body?
Zolos is always good for a good freak show. He'll go look.
Okay. So all five of you get up and make your way over to the foyer of the guard of the barracks. Ezra, I imagine you're the one in the lead, so you would see this first. But everyone filing into the room right behind you, it's not hard for all of you to spot this. There is a body lying on the divider table between the foyer and the jail cell, which is where a pair of guards that usually are set up watching. But it's the evening. Most people are out having dinner right now or in various stages of what they're supposed to do. No one happens to be there right now. The body on the ground, on the table, is of medium size. You're guessing maybe around 5'5" to 5'8" originally. It's really difficult to tell, though, because the body is missing its head from the jawline up. It's just straight up gone. The skin that you can see is dark, and the jawline itself is kind of purpley looking and odd. But go ahead, Ezra, and make for me. I'm trying to think of a good name for this. Give me a medical check. Because you're a doctor, I imagine the first thing you do is walk over and feel the neck for a pulse and that sort of thing, and kind of do a cursory examination. So give me a doctor's check, a medical check.
What is it? What is it called? Autopsy. There you go. Autopsy report.
Can I use disease healing? Because apparently it affects identifying and treating illnesses, or am I just rolling a straight check?
I feel like you can go ahead and roll a d8 for this, given your medical background and the skills that you have. Absolutely.
Sweet.
This doesn't really have a DC per se. Based on how low you roll is going to be the amount of information I give you.
Okay.
Oh
Roll
shit!
the one.
Wow.
Crit.
Nat 1, that's a crit. Impressive.
Full on autopsy. You. Wow.
Like
I learned some terrible things.
You do. You very much do. So the first thing that you learn, obviously, is he's dead, Jim. He's dead. No doubt about that. I mean, the dude is literally missing his head from the jawline up. However, obviously, there is a lot more information to gather, and you kind of pull out some medical tools that you have, some forceps and whatnot. You put gloves on, yada, 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 and start, like, actually examining this. The skin is along the jawline and around the base of the skull is necrotic. It almost looks as though it's been rotten for several days, which from the timeline you've heard, that shouldn't be possible under normal means. Because the crew that was sent out to look for it has only been missing a day. But it looks as though if you were just judging this as a regular corpse, you would say that it's been dead for at least a week or more. It's pretty nasty. You start examining along the face line, and the next thing you notice is that most of the bones are missing from not only around the skull area and the above the jaw, like the lower jaw and the teeth are still there, but the spine, the bones of the spine are missing. And you start examining inside these areas. You actually call for, have somebody like, Skarn is the tallest, so you'd have it hold a torch over to get some better light. You're glancing in it. Not only are the spinal column removed, but most of the nerve endings, the blood vessels, have all been ripped out and pulled out and are just straight up missing from the areas you can see. You start examining along the neck and you start feeling, and you can't feel any of the first 5 of the vertebrae from the skull down. Just completely gone. The muscle and the tissue are there, but there are very large gaps and grooves, as though parts of the muscular structure as well has been pulled out and are just missing. However, everything from the clavicle down is there. You're like starting to feel along the body. You're starting to feel the shoulders and along the ribs. That's all there. Just things from the neck, things, and then obviously the head itself, all completely gone. You pick up... go ahead.
Nope. Go ahead. Keep going.
Okay, you pick up the fingers and you start examining the fingers. You notice that there's a lot of plant-ish matter underneath the fingernails, like you're kind of scraping it out and looking at it, and it's kind of mushroomy, it's smelling, it's kind of dark and loamy. And the fingernails are broken in several places, implying that there was a struggle that was put before this happened. You see large scratches, unhealed scratches on the arms and the hands, as that's pretty indicative of somebody putting up a struggle with something and having slashes along the arms. The torso, the clothes they're wearing, quite a bit of blood. It makes it difficult to tell a whole lot from that. Shoes are missing completely, and as you examine the feet, you notice that the feet are completely clean, other than on the backs of the heels, as though they are laying down in the mud, and then the shoes were removed. Yeah.
Is everyone's tongue that big?
Not particularly.
Oh God! And I'm just gonna go over, like, into the corner and puke.
I feel like I want everybody, after Lark just hurls, to give me a check to not hurl as well.
Hey, Eloise may have had an iron stomach and would have thought this was fascinating. Lark, not so much.
Ezra, I feel like you are a doctor. You've seen these kinds of things before. I'm going to let you roll this with advantage. Everyone just needs to make... everyone just needs to make a 6 or lower.
Wait, there's a door. I'll go and puke just outside the door. There you go.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Oh.
So I'm rolling with advantage means I'm rolling a d10?
No, you're just gonna roll a d10 twice. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
It'll say 2 dice.
2 dice. And the difficulty again, sorry?
Is a 6.
Okay.
And we're rolling a 10, you said? Yeah.
Oh boy.
Well.
I had either Skarn or Lark dictating, like, I was dictating everything that I've seen.
Mm-hmm.
So I wouldn't be surprised if Lark was holding the notebook.
100%.
And you literally had to throw it.
Okay, so... Dreezy, you rolled a...
Yeah, they all puke except for me in the
7.
dock.
What?
Yep. Okay.
It's about to be real unpleasant in this room.
While they're all throwing up, I just like to think Zolos walks over. Eventually, he's got his bowl of, stuff still. He's just sitting there eating the stew. He's just like, ooh, wow, wait a minute. He didn't have this, did he?
No.
So this didn't do that? Okay, yeah, I'm good.
Yeah.
He's just going to keep eating. What you got, Doc?
And as you say that, not a moment later, like, Lark, Skarn, Dreezy are all just puking their guts out right now. Probably just as much from the sight as the descriptives that Dr. Ezra has been narrating to Lark. And as you're all throwing up, you just turn to see the captain, Sergeant Veramax, and the woodsman all standing in front of the door. Veramax is like, what are all of you doing in here? And the captain just kind of pushes past the sergeant and goes right up to the body to examine it as well. The sergeant comes rushing in and grabs up the three people who are puking, just yelling the entire time, "This is not for you all to see. What do you think you're doing in here? You all get into the other room and get mops and buckets and fresh water and clean this up immediately."
Can I just bury mine? I feel like that would be... I can't talk to him. He's authority. Fuck! I am weak! God damn it! So I go to mop it and I try to mop the dirt.
Meanwhile, Zolos is like, can I get another bowl? So like, this is great. He's just sitting there looking at him like oblivious to them getting yelled at.
Dreezy, you also have to make a roll to as an anarchist, don't you?
Yes, I do.
Oh, I would love that. You throw up and then she tells you to clean it up. You're like, you know what? You clean it up.
Yeah.
What's the DC?
Let me see here. I think it's the same every
What does it
time,
say?
isn't it?
It just says.
Yeah, I would say, like,
It
what's the
just says I must-
severity?
Okay, it's just a it's just a D12. I don't feel like this should be a hugely difficult DC, so let's call it a 7.
Yeah. He's like in between, like he's got. Why don't you clean it up?
You all just watch as the sergeant goes running over to Dreezy to grab them, to drag them outside the to get the vomit out of the area. Yelling to the other two, "Go get those mops and buckets immediately!" However, Ezra, as this is all going on, the captain comes up to you and says, "Findings, Doctor." Or so, "Findings, Doctor."
As I'm walking by with the mop and bucket, that like the bucket's half the size of me, I'm just gonna hand up the notebook that I was writing in, writing the notes in.
Ezra grabs it, hands it to the captain. Before the rest of my squad, they didn't have the constitution for this one, unfortunately.
Yes,
Here are the
obvious.
findings. Very often. Here are the findings. I am admittedly very weirdly concerned about the weird plant matter under the fingernails, which you might note. I also hand the captain a pair of gloves to not touch.
Yeah.
This is unusual.
The
Exceptionally so.
The captain takes your notes and kind of reads over them very, very quickly. Accepts the gloves from you as well, puts them on, and boldly walks over to the corpse and begins an examination of his own. After a few moments, he takes the notes that you gave him and sticks it into a pouch, kind of like a messenger bag that he has on his side, and says, Very good, Doctor. I appreciate your thoroughness. However, I need you to keep this in the strictest of confidences for the moment.
Understood.
Sergeant. Verimax turns. What is it, sir? Sergeant, I will be heading out to search the area myself. Mr. Tomlin, I would like you to come out with me and show me the direction that they had, that you had found them in. We will be leaving post-haste. Equip yourself quickly and make your way back. Sergeant, get your squadron to clean this mess up. You will take the corpse and you will put it in the stable for now. You have your orders. Dismissed. And the captain then turns and makes his way back towards his own room with the woodsman in tow. Dreezy, you are given a severe lecture for about failing to follow orders immediately, about conduct unbecoming a guard, about your weak constitution and stuff like that, and also ends up giving you a bunch of extra cleaning chores to do for your disrespect to them.
Oh, man.
Meanwhile, I'm still trying to mop dirt.
Yeah.
Just making mud.
Private, what are you doing? Why are you mopping the... No, just cover that with more dirt and get in here and clean the foyer.
One is doing its best, but it's hard to be mopping while that thing is behind you and you know it's there and you know you can't turn around and look at it, and it's a lot.
Yeah.
So
They moved it.
Who moved it?
They moved the body, right? Yeah.
They do eventually. Once
Oh, it's still there. Okay.
Yeah, it takes a few minutes because the sergeant has to get you all to actually start working and cleaning and that sort of thing. But then they eventually grab Dr. Bloom and have you help them take the body back into the stable, put it underneath a very wrap it in tarp and then put it underneath hay to keep it as cool as possible. While the captain's away, and as that's happening, the sergeant does confide in you. You need to make sure that none of the squad talks about what they saw. The captain will inform all of the sergeants who will distribute that information down, but causing undue panic before we know too much can cause a panic, and we definitely do not want to cause a panic.
Ezra just nods real quiet, looks at the sergeant dead in the eye. Well, I understand. Yeah. Before the body is wrapped, though, the doctor wants to get a scraping of whatever was under the fingernails and put it in a vial, like a sealed vial.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could absolutely do that. I'm sure you have some small vials in your medical kit that you could have put that into. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Look, nobody's gonna panic, but I'm kind of panicking here. Captain, what do you think did this to this guy?
You're saying that to the sergeant?
Yeah, Sergeant. Sorry, not Captain.
No, I'm sure you exactly...
Panic!
It is extremely disturbing, Private Boomy. No doubt about that. I've never seen anything like that in my many years assigned to this village, but the captain knows what he's doing. If he's planning to scout things out himself, he'll return with a much better game plan of what to do. I'm no doubt he will be forthcoming with whatever he plans.
Ooh, that's a relief, because I don't want to end up like this guy. You know what I mean? And he like kind of stifles a little more nausea.
Yeah, absolutely. The sergeant does try to reassure you all, and once the area is clean, the body's been put away, everything is looking fresh once again. The sergeant tells you all, well, I think it's about time you all headed up to your bunks for the night. This has been quite a chaotic first day, to be sure, but just keep in mind that the captain has everything under control, and make sure you do not spread any rumors about what you saw today. Once we know more, all of the barracks will find out what's going on and what we're all to do. But in the meantime, it's best to keep it to yourselves. You understand?
You guys aren't sure you're not hungry? I mean, there's still more of this stew. I mean, doesn't have any meat in it like that guy didn't have any meat, but I mean, it's really good stuff. Well, he's sitting there getting a third bowl, just oblivious to all you people throwing up.
I imagine all of you just kind of stare at Zolos, just like kind of mouths, jaws dropped.
You know what? That guy's jaw dropped too.
And with that, Ezra tries to find to find some like dried ginger for the squad. Like that's something to quell the stomach aches. I don't know if it'll work on a stone person, but we're gonna find out.
Yeah, we're
experiments.
Do it. Why don't you make me an investigation check of the kitchen, looking for some dried ginger? We'll say that you're probably aiming for a 7 here.
7.
Yeah.
Because it's investigate. I get to roll. Because it's investigate, that's one of my talents. I get to roll a d8. So 7.
Yeah. So just don't nat 1 it, or nat 8 it. I mean, nat 8
No,
it.
not 8. Crossed. What we got?
Oh.
Oh, close. Meets it.
Meets it, beats it, though, just barely. But like
Don't jinx us.
you
Jesus.
search the entire kitchen, and you're about to give up, but there in the very back, there's this little jar of dried ginger.
I gather a couple of little bundles of it. Enough for all 5 of us, because even though me and Zolos was fine, it doesn't hurt to have something preventative, and I bring it to the squad and distribute it.
Absolutely. You give everybody some ginger. It probably helps a little bit for Skarn, I imagine. Though I imagine it would have to consume quite a bit more than everybody else to get a decent effect.
It's just a mass ratio issue, that's all.
Exactly. You do see the captain and the woodsman making their way out from the barracks as you're all heading up to your bunk area. The captain has a broadsword strapped to their back. They have a shield as well. They seem to be provisioned and well supplied, and the two of them are both the captain and the woodsman have a very dark look on their face as they're making their way out. Neither of them acknowledge you. They all just kind of breeze past and head out into the night. Now, once you're all in the barracks, is there anything you want to accomplish before you head off to bed for the evening?
Yeah, I want to sit down with my tools and craft some explosives.
Shit.
I mean, sure, this can't go badly at all. So, you're crafting your explosive crafting. You have 1 rank in it, so you can craft a common explosive. The difficulty is a 6. If you fail, the explosive detonates in your zone. If you don't have tools, you must use a DC 12 check on this, but I'm going to say you do have your tools that you brought with you, and at least some chemicals and things like that.
Okay, 6.
Yep, so you're rolling a D10, and you need to hit a 6 or better.
Zolos' bed is over here, just in case that one explodes and his zone happens. He's over here.
Yeah, everyone go ahead and kind of
Probably
get in
combing
your
his hair
bunks.
a few hundred times, you know.
That's a 3.
Nice.
While everybody is, changing from their uniforms for the day, brushing their teeth, and in Zolos's case, doing the 1,000 brushes on his hair, Dreezy just goes into the corner and sits down with this little kind of like wooden cupboard that he pulls out from underneath his bunk. Opens it up, and there's tons of little vials and of all sorts of different things like that, and a really nice set of brass tools. And he just kind of sits down and starts working on it. And you are able to craft 1 basic common explosive.
Okay, it's gonna be like a Molotov cocktail, like a small vial filled with liquid and like a wick coming out of the end.
Yeah, I like it. So, just basically a glass vial with several liquids all mixed together, a wick with a cork stopper that's been sealed with wax to keep it safe. And, you've got 1 little Molotov cocktail.
Sick.
Let's see. I'm trying to see if there's an actual... Okay,
There's
common
like alchemist
explosives.
fire
Yeah.
or something like that, yeah.
Well,
Yeah, I'm sure there's like a grenade or something.
there
Like
is.
a D6.
It's right here. So it's an explosive common. Common explosives do not require training to use. They include the things after being thrown, it explodes, requiring a DC 4 or higher avoid check for everything in its zone, and it can deal up to 2 damage.
Nice.
So there you go. In fact, I'll even.
So up to 2. So how do you determine?
That can
how much damage it
vaporize
deals?
most creatures. Because they're like 1 health. A lot of things we fight.
A lot of things, yeah.
Or the low level stuff we fight.
Mm-hmm. So I think, it has to do with. It's going to be based on the check you make, I think.
Oh, okay.
So looking at it, so I'll probably have you do a throw check, and then whoever is in that area has to roll the avoid check of a 4. If they pass it, or if you pass it, it would be a 2. If you failed the throw, it would be a 1. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yeah, and I have weapon training thrown.
Mm-hmm.
It says I can make close range attacks with small weapons by throwing them. Oh, rank 2 is I can throw non-weapon object. It says like explosives or grappling hooks, but an explosive weapon is a weapon, right? Or no?
You make the You can make close-range weapon attacks with small weapons when thrown. That's more like a knife, I think. It's rank 2 that you can throw the explosives at a mid-range without a check. So you see where it says that?
Oh, yeah, okay. Okay, so I can throw it. I was like,
Yeah,
why
you can
would I need
throw
to
it
aim to
just
like,
fine.
toss something? Okay,
Yeah, you
cool.
can. Yeah, you can throw it just fine.
Without making check. Okay, great. Okay, so I definitely want to get
Yeah.
to that
Yes,
higher rank.
but there you go. Does anybody have anything else they would like to do during the evening before you head off to bed?
I think Zolos just has a very extensive, like, skincare, hair care routine. I'm sure he also does like a shitload of sit-ups and got to keep himself physically fit. But yeah, he's like brushing each side like 100 times, and then he's putting his lotions and stuff on before bed. He's gonna offer some to Skarn if they're gonna start their skincare regimen. He just might as well start it now.
Absolutely.
It's like, I make this myself. It's like this great seaweed wrapped oils. I promise we're gonna help you out, because I'm not saying you need it. That'd be rude. But you need it.
Wow.
Have you not picked up on Zolo? He doesn't see that he's being a dick. Well,
We
or
know.
he does, but
We
he
know.
does and he doesn't. So he's like, we're going to get you. You're going to look beautiful. Everyone's going to want to know your name.
I think Skarn has just been kind of sitting quietly at the edge of its bunk, staring off into nothing, like
And so it just goes
absolutely
on and
the
on
quietest it's ever been since you've
for
met
like
it. And
20 or 30 minutes about proper skincare regimens, and then how you want to do it, and then the cucumber slices with you, all kinds of shit.
and then just at the very end, Skarn just very quietly under its breath. I've never seen a dead guy before.
Oh, yeah.
It never
He
gets
was
easier.
pretty. Never seen one like that before. That was pretty. I mean, I've seen a lot of shark attacks in my time, but that was no. I've never even seen fey creatures attack something like that. So that was interesting.
It was
What the
interesting.
fuck is
as well
going
that-
on in these woods?
It's a good question. They weren't interested in any of
Stick to the water.
What were you saying, Dr. Ezra?
I was saying that they didn't. So my recollection, they didn't aim for any of the internal organs. I assume. Why wouldn't you want the internal organs?
But I mean, I think the head was. I mean, that's kind of an important one. I mean, it's not internal, obviously, but it was missing his head.
You have to be really strong to pull vertebrae out like that. That's like a lot.
I don't know. I put money on that you could do it.
As soon as they started talking about dead bodies, Larka's just plugged up her ears and is busy writing a letter home to her family, leaving out the dead body and just talking about the bar fight and how she made it into town and she's met all these people. Sergeant's really scary.
That's fair. That's fair. Well, I think that's actually a pretty good place to pause and go on break. So, we will be back in about 10 minutes, folks, and when we do, we will find out what our squadron of guards get up to in the following morning. You can all go ahead and put in that you all got a long rest so you can heal yourselves up while we're on our break. So go ahead and do that. And while that's going on, we'll see you soon. Howdy, everybody. We are back. And when we last left off, our squad of guards have gone to bed, making a full night's rest. Fortunately, even Dr. Bloom got a good night's sleep.
Yeah.
So we're happy about that because, you know, you had a bit of a stressful day the day before. So, yeah. I imagine you all crash fairly quickly in your bunks, which are not the most comfortable place in the world. But you all do drift off to sleep and waken refreshed to the sound of a familiar voice screaming, "Everyone get up right now! Rise and shine!" Banging on a pot to get everybody to awaken. Zolos, however, I believe you have an issue with that, don't you?
Was this a middle of the rest? Or is this a full rest?
Is a full rest, so... I
Oh,
can't
well, then
remember.
he's fine. It's only
You're
when
good?
you interrupt him in the middle of a rest.
Gotcha, okay. So yeah, you would awaken as well to the loud sounds of a pot being banged on. You all have to get up bright and early with the sun to head out for the morning to get some calisthenics in. The life of a guard starts early here in Manos, and as you're all kind of jogging around the barracks, your sergeant informs you that you are all going to be spending your morning guarding the wall. The wall itself is just a big wooden structure around the entire village, which is there to protect it from any monster incursions that happen coming down from the mountains or from the woods. It's a boring job, but, you know, better than walking circles around the village a bunch of times, I guess, maybe? I don't know. We'll find out.
In my
After
experience, standing still hurts a lot more than moving.
But at least you get to look at trees.
That's
There
true.
is that. There is that.
Nature is pretty.
After calisthenics comes breakfast, and before you know it, you're all making your way towards the wall. The sergeant in the lead calling out just a light canter of a march as you all exit the barracks. However, as you're walking away, you notice in the distance coming down the dirt road from the north is the captain. He looks disheveled, to say the least. His coat is dirty. He's got some mud smudges on his shield, and as he passes you all, he gives you a salute and a nod to the sergeant. But other than that, he doesn't really say anything to you all. You notice that although the sergeant gives a salute in reply, you can't help but notice that as you're all marching away towards the front gate, or to the northern gate, I should say, that even the sergeant kept glancing back over his over their shoulder at the captain.
Am I the only one that noticed the hunter person wasn't there?
Yeah, that's, yeah.
The doctor roll perception to see if they clocked anything on the captain.
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead and roll a perception check. I'm thinking this is you're looking. You said you're looking for details that are out of the ordinary. So this is going to be a bit of a harder roll. You're aiming for a 4 here.
Aiming for a 4.
Mm-hmm.
And I definitely can't use investigation.
You cannot use investigation for this one. This is just a quick glance as somebody's walking away.
There. Okay. So that's a D10.
Mm-hmm. Oh my god. You with the freaking
Goodness.
ones.
Yeah.
Nice.
As you're walking away, you do clock some noticeable things that seem off to you. The first thing that kind of catches your notice is that as the captain's walking away, you know, he's a centaur, 4 hooves, clip-clopping along down the road, but then he kind of stumbles a little bit to one side, as though one of his 4 legs didn't move in time with the rest, and it kind of caught him off guard a little bit, and you see just a little bit of a stumble. Most people wouldn't notice that, but you definitely did. You've spent more time here in the barracks than everybody else has, and you're a medical professional. You're trained to look for these things. The second thing that you notice, because you nat 1, there's a dark splotch on the back of his head. Now, you've all seen his picture. He's very fresh and military. He has gray hair, slicked back, and a short military haircut. And at the nape of his neck, there is this kind of a blackish smudge, like almost like dirt or grime. And that combined with the mud on his shield, you kind of get the sense that he looks like he's been in a fight.
I tell the squad this, especially since we're talking about how the woodsman did not come back, and I am not sure what to do about that splotch.
Mm-hmm.
Any thoughts?
The sergeant, he kind of like slows a little bit. He's still making you maintain the march towards the northern gate, but he slows towards you and he says, "What did you mean? What do you mean? You saw a splotch on the back of their neck?"
I mean, given how typically immaculate the captain is, the back of their head, there's a mysterious dark spot, and I'm not sure if they need medical attention whatsoever, or if we should check in to see what's up, but it seems like there might be some sort of either, hopefully it's just grime, but maybe a type of bruise. Maybe they've experienced a head injury. They seemed rather quiet when they were passing by us. I don't know if the squad has any feelings around what they saw. Anyone?
Yeah, sure. Check the captain out. Just don't let him look at me.
Everyone kind of looks down at Dreezy as he says this. I feel like you're gonna have to try to persuade the sergeant. You know, try to talk him into taking what you saw seriously here. He did notice that the captain was looking a little weird as well, so it's not a major sell, but it is a little bit of a difficult sell. I'm going to say that this is probably going to be a 5. Rolling a d10, aiming for a 5.
Fair enough.
Oof, yeah. You say this, but the sergeant says, "Well, none of that, Private. We must get to our duties for the day. I will at least speak to the sergeant we're relieving at the gate and ask him to look in on the captain, if that'll ease your mind."
That would be appreciated. Thank you.
The sergeant leads you to the northern gate, saying, "I'm just going to let you take a look at this." real quick, just to kind of give you a bit of an approximation of what it is you're going to be doing today. You are positioned to either side of the northern gate, which is the gate that the loggers all leave out of to head into the forest and return with their large wagons filled with, trees. Your job is very basic. All the guards are given spears and a crossbow, which they hold on to and watch and take position along the wall. The wall itself is made out of wood. It's logs. It's just row upon row of logs, all lined up. In a about 20 foot, or not 20 foot tall, 10 foot tall fence, with a walkway that's been built behind it with stairs going up that allows the guards to walk along the walls on either side and patrol it in regular fashion. Your jobs for today is to maintain the northern gate, open it when caravans come through, going to and from, and otherwise challenging whoever shows up. It's a dull assignment, to be sure, but you are all at least relieved that when the sergeant goes up to the evening sergeant, you're all relieving a short dwarven woman, and they say to her, when you get back, check in with the captain for me, if you don't mind. I'm sure you saw him make his way from the woods, and you're familiar with what's going on. Just check in on him. He seemed like he was in a bit of a state. And the sergeant says that, yes, absolutely, she will check in on the captain once they get back to the barracks. And so you all get up on your position on the wall, and you watch, and you wait. And it's tedious, to be honest. Like, every so often there's something interesting that happens that the bigger ones of you are, or the smaller in groups, have to go and push the doors open to the village, and let caravans, just wagons pulled by horses with the woodsmen driving them, heading off into the woods for their day's job. A few soldiers are sent along with them as well. You've been introduced to them as you've spent your day here. Their names aren't really important for this scene, but some guards actually do go out to watch the woodsmen as they're felling trees. But your jobs, however, is just to open and close the gates. Whenever somebody approaches, the sergeant calls out and has them identify themselves. You go through the same rigmarole until they eventually tell you, open the gates. That you open the gates, push it open, they come through. And there you stand for about 6 hours as your day goes by. And it's tedious. It is. It's just boring. Because there's just long stretches where nothing happens. But for the most part, you all it's only your second day. I imagine you're trying to maintain your good behavior for the moment, and so I don't expect any of you to really get up to too many antics during this time.
What the fuck? Hold on, sorry. Something is happening. What the fuck?
Oh, on Roll20. Yeah, I also noticed that. That was weird.
Yeah,
What's up?
Stop. What is happening?
What's happening?
What is happening?
Something happened to Alyssa's Roll20, and it made her profile pic on Roll20 glitch into something weird. It's back to normal for me, but I don't know if it's the same for everyone else. I also don't see a map on mine. I hope that's normal.
You might have to move your token back and forth.
Yeah. Can you see your token?
Can I see
Yeah,
my token?
I can see my token.
Where are you?
I don't know what just happened.
Huh.
Okay.
Are you good?
Yeah, my computer just decided that
There you are.
everything was gonna freak out all at once.
Huh.
Yeah,
Okay.
But you're good now? Oh, you just...
I think so.
Okay, good.
Everything good from your end? Because okay, okay,
Yeah.
cool. All right.
There you go, everybody.
Like 5 of my tabs all at once just started freaking out, and I had audio coming from everywhere, and I was like, "What is happening?" Sorry, I did not mean to interrupt.
No problem. I was just talking about how boring your day is. The most interesting thing that happens is that around noon, when your group is supposed to be relieved, that way you can go and grab lunch from the barracks, nobody shows up.
I do.
Sorry, no one shows up. I'm trying to get better at it. Yes, nobody, the person shows up and just gives everybody crap. No.
You brought us lunch?
Aw.
So nice. Anyway, the thing that happens is that none of the guards who are meant to relieve you show up. None of them. At first, like, the sergeant was telling you, "Oh, yeah, our relief should be here in about 20 minutes or so. Then we'll go grab lunch, and maybe I can get a status update on what's going on with the captain or what he found." 20 minutes go by, nobody's there. The sergeant is kind of looking around back towards the village. Other than townspeople going back and forth, nobody's coming. No one's coming. I almost did it again. You wait another 10 minutes. No one shows up. Another 20 minutes. And the sergeant is kind of walking back and forth along the walkway, seeming very concerned. They say to you, "That's odd and out of the ordinary. Someone should have been here to relieve us a long time ago. That's not normal at all." They see some patrolling guards, some of the ones that just make circuits around the village, and they call them over and ask them, "Hey, you know where our relief is?" And they inform you all that they had left for their shift mid-morning, and things had been normal. And while they seen some guards kind of going back and forth, they're not sure why your relief hasn't shown up yet. The sergeant, at about the same time this is happening, a large caravan of wagons carrying timber are making their way back towards the village. And the sergeant looks back and forth between the large caravan with a lot of people on their way, the lack of your replacements, and the patrolling guards that are coming up. And finally, the sergeant says, "Dreezy, Bloom, Lark, Skarn, Zolos, I want the 5 of you to head back to the barracks. See where our replacements are. Find Sergeant Bellix. They are the lead sergeant for our relief for the shift. I'll remain here and oversee the caravan coming in. I'll use these 4 to assist me with that. Feel free to grab something to eat while you're there. And tell the sergeant to bring me something, too. I'm going to have some words with them for not showing up.
Hey.
Will do.
Okay. You all watch as the two guards that were patrolling head over to the door to begin opening it, while the sergeant makes their way out from the gates to speak with the lead caravan driver. As you're all making your way back, you all just kind of glance one last time at the sergeant, who seems to be in a heated debate with several of the drivers, making their way towards the village. And it's difficult to not just kind of wonder what the hell's going on. That's definitely not military protocol. Show it not arriving. Someone should have been there to relieve you all. So I imagine with that concern in your minds, you all hurry back towards the barracks.
Oh, certainly.
Do it.
Mm-hmm.
You hurry towards the barracks doors, which are closed. You open them, and the moment the foyer door is open, you see a body lying on the floor, which I'm going to go ahead and show you now. I can hear your dog.
Who, me?
Yeah.
No, my dog's
No?
asleep.
Oh, I swear I heard something that would sound like snorting.
I heard sniffles. I sniffled.
Oh, maybe that's what I was hearing. But anyway, you're all open the door, and you look into the room, and you all pause, looking down at the body of one of your fellow guards. They're wearing the same uniform you all are. They're lying belly up on the stone floor. Their stomach has been eviscerated. Blood lies everywhere. And Dr. Bloom, you, I imagine, go running up first to look at the body. It's still warm. What do you all do?
I throw up again.
Is this the only body?
Here it looks like.
I think we need to check out different parts of the barracks.
Carefully.
Oh,
Carefully.
no, there is, no. The only word I'm going to give you is no.
No,
It's
we're just
not
gonna leave
the
this
only
body here.
body.
Give me some perception checks, everybody. There's no DC on this. We're actually just going to see what you see based on how low you roll. Call out your rolls when you do it. 3, I heard.
That's a 10 on my end.
Okay, let's see. So I need to click that.
7.
Activity. Perception. Submit.
Hang on.
Number of dice. 1. Type of die. Is this? Are we rolling a d12 for this?
D10.
10.
D10.
10, 10, 10.
Yikes.
Submit. Difficulty. Yeah, whatever.
Oh.
What'd you roll, Lark?
8.
So yeah, The sight of one of your fellow guards lying eviscerated on the ground in the foyer of the barracks is too much for a lot of you. Dr. Plume, I imagine you just can't bring your eyes away from it. You're just kneeling down there in front of the corpse, looking it over. The blood is still slightly pooling underneath it, but you reach out and feel the neck. There is no pulse. However, Dreezy, you are throwing up in the corner, so you're not looking at the thing that everyone else is focused on. You're kind of looking towards the actual jail area of the barracks, and you spot that there is another body lying on the ground just beyond the front desk of the foyer, in between.
There's another one.
Yeah, in between the desk and the cells themselves.
Oh yeah, I see it.
Oh shit.
Mm-hmm. And Zolos, who you've made your way out into the main area of the barracks, your living area, and you see that there are two more lying on the ground, all of whom have been brutally murdered.
Like totally brutals.
Yes.
Yeah, there's quite a few around here. Is this part of the job? Is this what we're gonna have to deal with all the time? Just coming home to dead bodies everywhere?
Should we go get the sergeant?
They're probably dead.
Even back
Watch
at the
this boy.
gate?
I mean, I'm assuming everybody's dead at this point.
We gotta find out what this thing is.
Isn't the officer's quarters somewhere? I guess, is it over here?
It's
Yeah, the
upstairs.
captain. The upstairs is for the sergeants and the non-coms, and the captain has his own private office and bedroom near the armory.
Hmm.
I was blanking on that word for a minute and a half.
So go check on that, knock on the door, and be like, there's a shitload of dead people out here, right?
While Zolos is making his way into the barracks itself, what are the rest of you all doing?
I'm just gonna step out so that I can hopefully keep an eye on Zolos. Where did you go?
I'm gonna crouch down after I finish
Captain.
throwing up and go, okay, I gotta get ready for this shit. And he's gonna take out the little Molotov cocktail he had before, and he's gonna fashion it to the end of the arrow that's on his crossbow that they gave him, combining the two into a projectile.
Nice.
I like it. So you're kind of crouched down there working on that real quick. Skarn, Bloom.
Duct tape type situation, you know?
Absolutely. Skarn and Bloom, what are you two up to?
You first.
Absolutely. Well, I'm gonna be real. I think Skarn is panicking a little. Based on the fact that everyone else seems to have professions, I think it's the youngest one here. It's definitely never been in a situation like this before. And Dreezy has just bent down and started working on something in the middle of a floor where dead people are. So I think it's just sort of putting itself around Dreezy, try and in case something shows up while he's occupied, just being a big stone wall to hopefully
I'm,
deter
looking at the
something from
ground.
attacking the...
Okay.
It's not very active, but it's not feeling very active right now.
That's valid. It's valid. Bloom, how about you?
Okay. So we have two folks heading to the captain's office.
Mm-hmm.
Lark and Zolos are heading to the captain's office. We haven't cleared the jail area? Have we looked straight up into it? Can we see all the way down it? How much of it can we see?
You can see a fair amount in there. You do know of the fact that that there wasn't anyone in the cells in the last couple days. There hasn't anyone been jailed or anything like that. You kind of, if you want to go over there and look, like do like an actual investigation, see if there's anyone in there now, you could move over there and do that.
To be clear, I'm making sure that I can keep eyes on everyone, so nobody's out of sight. So you can still see me. I can see Zolos.
Okay. I think I'm gonna do an investigation of that area.
Okay.
I need to cover folks' backs. That's
So that is going to be an investigation check. Do you have dark vision?
I do have dark vision.
Okay. So you are going to be making this investigation check with that D8. Because you have the dark vision, it's going to lower the DC a little bit. So we're going to call this a 5. No, I'm sorry, a 6.
A 6.
Are we live, Matt, tonight?
Yes, we are.
Then everybody in chat say hi to Ziggy! Hi, Ziggy!
Hi, Ziggy.
That had to be done. On stream, while they're on stream, so.
Naturally.
Of course.
Of course.
Alyssa, druid in real life.
So true.
I don't know about that. My dog didn't like me for a good long time. Nigger, what, 4 months?
You just had some low animal handling checks.
For 4 months? Straight? Jeepers. I'm the world's shittiest druid.
So what did the good doctor roll?
2.
Nice. You make your way over to the jail cells, peering in there. Fortunately, you do not see anyone lurking in the corners or anything like that. However, as you're making your way closer, you are also closer to that dead body that's on the other side of the desk area right here. You can get a very good look at the wound. There's a slash across the chest. There's a slash across the neck. And you can just, at a glance, you can tell it was made by something extremely sharp. You've seen wounds like this before while you're in medical school and also while you're training for the military. That would have had to have been done by a slashing weapon, like, say, a sword.
I head back over to Skarn and Dreezy.
I imagine you're making your way over. You get to right about there, just as Zolos, you're starting to walk right up to the door. Like your hand is up, positioned, you're about to pound on the door when the door opens. And you see the captain standing there. The captain, however, at a glance, there's something wrong with the centaur. The first thing you notice, like your eyes lock onto his, but they are dark red, bloodshot, like as though someone had been ripping bongs for hours, and it's just pure red and veiny. But there's also a milking quality to the pupils. His head is swollen horribly, like the cranium seems to be expanding. His whole head is beet red, as though all of the blood is rushed to his head. His mouth is kind of hanging in this soft, jagged kind of way, and his tongue is lolling a little bit, but those eyes, those wild, dark red eyes, fixate upon you. And he just starts lunging towards you. And so, everyone, I'm gonna need you all to roll reaction as we get into combat.
Oh no. Okay.
A reminder on how we do that?
Okay, so you are just going to be rolling a d10, unless you have something that allows you to roll higher or something forcing you to roll a lower, a bigger dice. Does that make sense?
Okay.
And then its lowest goes first?
Lowest goes first.
Okay.
Are we
Rolled an
doing it
11.
as a check or just
Yeah,
a
you
D10?
can either or. It honestly doesn't matter.
Okay.
I have to put it in manually no matter what.
Gotcha.
Mhm.
Whoa. D10. 8.
Okay, looks like everybody is in there. Oh. This is going to be fun.
Oh, no. Sorry, my Roll20's being weird. I need to close this window and try to get back in it.
Yeah, just hit refresh.
Okay.
That usually fixes
It does it sometimes. It does that sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
My friend.
Okay.
Oh, that's
So it is Captain Elm Romer's turn first. Because they have a 4 for their reaction.
We are gonna die.
Zolos, you are the closest one there. You were about to knock on the door when it was just shoved open by the captain, who then those wild eyes fixate directly on you, and they're going to be moving into your area. And then they're going to be trying to reach out and swipe at you with, well, they have a long sword in their hand.
Ooh. That's
Yeah.
cool.
So what I need you to do is make an avoid check. You're aiming for a 5.
Is it D10?
It's D10 unless you have something that allows you to roll a smaller dice or requires you to roll a bigger one.
Don't think I do.
Probably not.
No, it's an 8.
Oof. That is an 8. He slashes at you viciously with that long sword of his, cutting you across your chest for 1 point of health.
Eek.
He then shoves you. He holds out his hand and smacks it into your chest. I need you to make another avoid check. This one is a 6.
Ooh.
Whew.
Oof, nice. He has something in his hand. It's odd looking at first, like you only kind of casually glance at it as it's being shoved at you. It almost looks like a metal plate at first, like a tin dinner plate. Then he just hits you with it, and you kind of stumble back a little bit, but you catch yourself, and you manage to maintain your footing. You look down, and what you can see in his hand is a pentagonal-shaped disc, segmented into 5 triangular pieces. He's holding this thing in his hand, and he just looks at you wildly. He kind of groans.
Come again? I don't speak centaur. Is that what you're speaking? Is that a language? The fuck was this all about? He's gonna look at the slash. Like, seriously. Dude, you need some sleep. I don't know what's going on up top here, but goddamn.
Well, as you're saying that, Skarn, you're in the other room in the foyer, standing next to Dreezy, who is kind of in the process of winding some like twine around this vial on a crossbow bolt. And you hear, Skarn kind of, or Zolos kind of yell out in pain and then kind of yells a bunch of other stuff. I don't like this. I'm not a fan of that music. Let's try this one. So, what do you do? Yeah, I like this one.
I think Skarn sort of pauses for a moment, sort of looks down. It's hesitating. It doesn't know what it's doing. It wants to stay here, but people are shouting. And then I gotta go. Don't get got. Seriously. And then I'm gonna run. You can move 2 spaces if you use your action to move. Is that right?
That's correct.
Okay, then I'm just running, because I have no idea where anything is, because I didn't have that angle when I was out in the lobby.
That is true, but as you make your way out into the foyer, or past the foyer into the next room, you do see that the captain is standing there next to Zolos. The captain has a longsword in his hands that you're kind of farther back, so now you can actually see the full details of what's going on. And the captain's sword covered in blood. The captain covered in blood all across his arms, his torso, his face a little bit has splattering on it, as does his the horse parts as well, just caked in dried, matted blood. But it doesn't look like he's injured at all.
Okay, well, that's less than ideal. But yeah, it was my action to move an extra space, so I think I'm done for now.
Yep. Zolos, you're up next.
Well, clearly the captain's having a very bad day. But then he went and slashed him, and he cut into the gorgeous, gorgeous armor that Zolos is wearing, and that just, he can't have that. So yeah, he's gonna end up, he's gonna attack him back. But I think we're not gonna go to her. I think he's gonna try and grapple him to try and figure out, trying to hold him down, and maybe the big guy or the Skarn can come over and try and help out. But yeah, we're gonna go to grapple. I guess grabbing and gripping for his wrestler ability.
Okay.
Which I guess it doesn't do anything real until he actually has them grappled. But yeah, we're gonna try and get a hold of good old captain here.
Okay, so this is going to be just an attack roll then to grab him. So it's a D10, and you're going to be doing this against the captain's defense, which is a 6.
Like 6 is the DC, or the
Yeah,
or
the
the captain's
DC.
going to be rolling a D6.
The captain. It's his defense
Oh
is
my
6.
Okay. It's like,
I'm just. Okay. Where's
boy.
that?
Well, that was a
Um,
7. So yeah, unfortunately,
And
you try to grab onto the captain, but like he's a centaur, very sure-footed. And the captain just like uses his sword, kind of pushes it between you and shoves you back.
And I can't use my own effort for myself yet, so.
No, you can't.
Yeah, yeah, no, yeah, I mean, that's it.
Okay. That's it for Zolos' turn. Dreezy, you're up next.
Okay. He just finished wrapping up this improvised weapon here, and he goes, "Got it! Ready to roll!" And he's going to go out there into the room with everybody else and look around.
Okay, so that is going to have to be your movement and your action to get right up here with everybody else.
Yep, 2 squares. Okay, and yeah, now I can see the captain of Zolos down there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the
Yeah,
captain's
man.
looking wild. He is not looking good at all. Like that cranium, it's... God, remember Mars Attacks?
Oh yeah.
Oh
And
my
it's just the
God.
giant bubble brain. That's what the captain's looking like right now.
Ooh, Captain, I'm loving the new look. But you might need some help.
Ain't that the truth? Lark, you're up next.
I mean, the captain is a figure of authority. So I think, hang on, what does my Meek say? Meek. You are intimidated by authority. You must make a check each time an authoritative figure gives you a command.
Mhm.
Okay.
So that doesn't necessarily affect
He hasn't
you
given
right
me
now.
a command.
No.
Okay. But this is affected check talking, so I can't talk to him. Okay.
Yeah, he's commanding nothing right now.
Oh boy. I'm going to okay. Do I know how many spaces the crossbows can shoot?
Crossbows, let me just...
It should have. I would think some
There's a
kind
thing,
of...
I just have to double check it real quick. Give me a sec. Okay, yeah, so it is considered a small projectile weapon. It's can attack targets in close range. It looks like it can shoot one range away, but that's it. So you can shoot into the adjacent areas, but you can't shoot beyond that with a hand crossbow.
Okay, then for now, I think I'm just going to use my turn to move into this space. But I'm going to try and do it stealthily and hide, for now, behind/under the chair.
Okay, I like it.
Okay.
Roll for stealth.
Okay. So I've got soft-footed, which means I can use a D8, but I also have sneak,
Mm-hmm.
which means to hide from view may use a D8. Okay, so D8 no matter what. Cool. Okay. So make a check to Stealth. 1d8. Okay, and what do I set a difficulty or?
Yeah, you are going to be using Look, yeah, I'm going to say that it's the reaction plus how many spaces they are between you and them, which is a 2. So you need to roll over or under a 6.
6. Okay.
Yes, 6.
4.
Nice. So you go running over to the chair, crouch down behind it, and the captain seems much more focused on Zolos right now. Does not seem to notice you.
Okay.
Okay. Dr. Bloom, you're up next.
Well, I mean, first of all, Dr. Bloom has real reasons for not wanting to inflict violence, but doesn't know what to do in this situation. But also, my roll 20 is still not cooperating, so this is going to be all theater of the mind for me.
Yeah, that's totally fine. I'm just going to let you know that you are actually 4 hexes away from the captain and Zolos, so you can't really get to them. But
I'll share my screen, Nico.
Oh, that'd be appreciated. Thank you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Here. The map. There you go. There.
Beauty. Not bad. Oh, thank you. Ah, I see. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Too. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna move close to the Zolos and the captain. How many?
if you use both your movement and your action, you could move 2 hexes closer, so you would be 1 hex away from them by the table.
What's the range on the crossbow again?
It is 1 hex away, so if you're in that area, you would be able to fire on the captain.
Okay. Can I be behind the table for that?
Yeah, you could kind of be crouched down behind the table a little bit. You don't have an action to like hide like Lark is, but you could at least like be using it for a little bit of cover, maybe.
Yeah, that sounds good.
I dig it.
Sweet. Thank you.
Okay, that's it for your turn. We're coming up to the top of the turn order with the captain, who levels this odd-looking hexagonal-shaped disc that he's holding in his hand, and he turns and he points it. He points it in a direction towards all of you who are kind of making their way in almost a very perfect line.
Oh my god.
I really appreciate the fact that you did this for me.
No.
I just want to say thank you very much because, well, that's actually too big. Hold on.
Good game, y'all.
Yeah.
I said we were gonna die, but I am hidden.
You are hidden.
Under/behind, so am I out of line? Maybe?
So if you notice the way I have this, it's aiming towards the Doctor, Skarn, and Dreezy. It's able to hit the 3 of them, but Lark, you are just out of range for this. So, Dr. Bloom, Skarn, and Dreezy, I need all of you to make avoid checks for me.
I don't want to know what this thing does, guys.
Don't worry,
Roll
you've got 2 health. You guys are fine.
Is this a powered effect?
This is a powered effect.
Okay, rad. That means one of Skarn's drawbacks comes into play, and I have to roll this avoid with a d12.
Oh no!
Oh shoot.
Okay, what's the DC?
Magic just likes me so much, yo.
So, the DC for this,
Or do you not know?
fortunately, no, I am going to let you know what the DC is for this. Fortunately, it is a 7.
Okay. That's doable.
Oh
Oh,
no! Oh no, Dreezy!
me and Skarn both rolled 9s.
Yep.
Oh my god, no!
So yes, Dreezy, Skarn. The two of you were kind of taken aback by this hexagonal shaped disc pointed directly towards you all. This beam of energy comes shooting out from it in a line directly towards the doctor, who nimbly just jumps underneath the table. You're literally under the table itself, ducking down, and are able to avoid it. However, it hits Skarn on the side of its body, and it continues to go forward, striking Dreezy in the shoulder as well. The both of you are taking 1 point of health from this hit, and the both of you have the drained wound.
Damn.
So both of you are now wounded with the drained condition. The drained condition is this. I'm going to go ahead and give it to you. So, afflicted creatures with a drained condition can use its movement or its action on each of their turns, but not both. At the end of each turn, the drained creature can make a difficulty 5 check to remove 1 point of the condition.
So similar to slowed?
Kinda, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, more or less.
Okay. Could be worse. We're okay. We're okay.
What are they rolling? Would it be a
So
D10?
they're going to be rolling a D10 again, and they have to beat the DC I gave you, a 7 again.
Okay.
So wait, in future rolls, does Skarn get
sorry.
to use a D10, or do they have to?
It's at the end of the turn. It's a difficulty 5 check to remove the condition.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But because Skarn had to roll a D12 because of magic likes it.
So no.
The roll is now to shake it off.
Yeah, the condition, while the source was magical, the condition is just the condition. So it would not have to roll a d12 to remove that condition. It would revert back to a d10.
That is hopeful.
Yeah, right? Okay, but that's well, you're next. That's why I was asking. So,
but if you gain more points of that condition, it might change. So keep that in mind too. Right now, you just have 1 point of the condition. That was its action. It seems, or he, the captain, seems fairly happy to remain where it is. It's just going to move a little bit. Still has his sword in his hand. Actually, I think he's going to move a little more to get Zolos in that range the next time. I should have done that first, but oh well. Anyway, that's it for his turn. Skarn, you're up next.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Skarn is not really super sure what hit it, so it's just gonna keep on stumbling forward. That was really big and weird, and there's lots of questions to ask about that, but that has to wait for later. And I don't have an action this turn because I moved, so...
Yep. So that's it for you. Zolos, you're next.
well, Skarn gets to roll to shake it off, right?
So that's right, yes. Do your shake it off. D10 roll, DC 5.
Alright, let's see what we got here.
Oh.
Ooh, alright.
Nice.
Whoop, whoop.
After moving into that space, you just kind of reach down deep in your being and push forward the resolve to get a little bit of energy back, and you're no longer drained. Well done. Now, Zolos, you're up next.
Seeing as how grabbing the horse didn't work, he's just gonna. I guess we've got our clubs on us because we just came from duty. So he's gonna take his club and he's going to do something that he can possibly do, and he's gonna try and disarm him. And that's actually one of his abilities he's got. I get to use a D8. And it doesn't do any damage, but I get to pick which, what they're holding in what hand and make them drop it. So, I mean, I guess he saw him with the little, his little magic hand thing, but the sword is what slashed him. So he's going to go for the sword and knock the sword out of his hand.
Interesting.
So,
while wielding that weapon, you can make an attack against a D8 to disarm him. You're still aiming for the captain's defense, and the captain's defense is a 6.
Oh, I actually had it as a 5, but yeah, woohoo! So yeah, he kind of like deftly swings his little club around and just smashes it while he's holding. He's magic hands, jazz fingers towards them with the little thing, and so he just slams the club down on, I would think, like almost like the webbing right between the thumb where it's gripping onto the sword, and he just slams the club right down onto that and just deadens the hand and makes him drop the longsword.
Yeah, and the hand just releases, the longsword clatters to the ground between his horse feet. Hooves. That's it, hooves. Nice.
Like, I'm guessing that's going to be a bitch to pick up, with all 4 of your paws, your hooves. So, yeah. You deserved that, though. He's just looking at him, just like still upset. He's bleeding, I'm sure, but he's upset about the armor. He's just like, dude, this took so long to stitch together. And you don't get these pigments anywhere. These had to be specially brought in on a ship, and he's just, he's very angry about his gear.
I'm sure he is, especially now that the special pigments are being just covered with a new pigment.
Oh yeah, and, that's not the kind of pigment that he was expecting to use to repair his clothing either.
Indeed. Okay, that with that is your turn. I assume you're not moving.
No, yeah, he's gonna. I mean, being that they all just kind of get jacked up that way. He's obstructing. He does have that tough skin. This is kind of what he has trained with his own personal teacher back home to do. So his thing is he's up front regardless of what he's facing. So
I like it. That's it for your turn. Dreezy, you are up next, and you are currently drained, so you can only do a movement or an action, not both.
Ooh. All right, I'm gonna move over to here and then try to shake it off.
Shake it off.
Yeah, I know it's been in my
You're
head
welcome.
ever since you guys started doing that.
Yeah.
That and watching so much football with her showing up.
Oh my god, I need to get you to watch the Hillywood parody, Supernatural parody where they use that song. Oh my god, it's so good.
Ooh.
Hell yeah.
I shook it off.
Boom shakalaka.
Nice. With that 3,
Ooh, that made me feel weird.
Woo!
Seems like it's really powerful, though. I better get my hands on that thing.
Absolutely. Lark, you're up next.
Yeah. So hidden underneath the table, and with my soft-footed nature, I am going to sneakily crawl under the table, and then with my crossbow, I would like to shoot the captain. Please.
Okay. With your soft-footed, your movement is naturally quiet. You're still going to have to make a check to maintain your hidden status.
Okay.
You're going to be rolling a D8, but I'm going to keep it as what you were, which you're trying to beat a 7.
Woohoo.
5. You're good. You stay hidden down underneath the table. Go ahead and roll to attack with your crossbow.
I would like to try and use my, stuff to try and help her, but would Zolos even know? Because if she's kind of like stealthing to him, she's stealthing to everybody.
Yeah.
So I guess what would there be something Zolos could do to see, like, if he could like distract the captain when she shoots? Is there a check he could do to see if he even sees or hears her? To be able to use his effort to help her out?
You know what? Make me a perception check. And I think we're going to have to roll to beat Lark's 5.
Okay.
So roll a D10. You're trying to beat a 5. If you can beat the 5, then you definitely know where she is.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Nope. I have no idea where that little minx is. She's hidden well.
I'm going to say in this instance you would not be able to assist this, but
Right.
Since you are stealth, that does what. Let's see here. Let me double check something real quick. Yeah, okay, so sneak attacks. If a character benefits from being hidden, their attack gets +1 dice. So you already get a +1 dice.
Ooh. Okay.
So yeah, you're going to be rolling 2d10. You're trying to hit the captain's defense, which is a 6.
6, yeah.
Okay. 3!
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah, hidden underneath the table, you aim that crossbow fire, ka-chunk, thunk, hits the captain right in their flank, and you see the captain kind of whinny a little bit and kick his feet in response to that pain. That is a point of damage.
Okay. And I'm
First-
just gonna make eye contact with Dr. Bloom and be like, that's it.
Yes.
Okay.
Just nod.
I just
make
heard,
eye contact
okay.
and nod and like, yeah,
Gotcha.
this.
Yeah, I was like, what are you saying?
No, I don't say anything. Not
Okay.
with words. I'm being stealthy. goddammit.
Gotcha. My bad. Okay, Dr. Ezra, you're up next.
Am I within range to also shoot the captain?
You are.
Okay.
You would
let's
have
do
to
it.
get out from underneath the table to do a good shot, but yes, you can.
Okay, fair. I don't have anything to help with this, so I'm just gonna roll.
Feel free to move your token where you want them to be.
I can't because roll 20's being the worst.
Oh, that's right. My bad.
Yeah.
I forgot.
But that's all good. Where are you? There you are. Okay.
Can you see now?
I rolled a 7. Boo. Alyssa's streaming it for me, but I missed.
Okay, yeah. With that 7, you're aiming, but it goes right. Although I will point out before, you do have the Random Rhapsody coin.
I do.
You do.
So if you
So
want to
I could
use that,
re-roll it.
you could.
Before I use it, is there anyone here who has very strong feelings about the potential use of a reroll and might get to use it?
Do it.
Do it.
Oh, it's yours. Use it
Yeah,
whenever you want.
that's important.
It is important. I thought it was like for the coin, it's something that everyone can use, though.
No,
right? Like,
this is
No.
specifically
No.
yours.
Yours to
Mine.
use. Yes.
Okay.
It's all
If
yours.
you wish to save it, you may. You can do that, but it's your choice.
Okay. Let's try this again. If it hits, can I decide where it hits?
Sure.
Or should I say where I'm aiming it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. I'm aiming for the hand that's holding the
The plate disc
The
thingy.
disc thingy.
Yes.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
yes,
The plate disc thingy. Very technical terms.
very technical.
Zappy doodad.
So relieved.
Nice. There you go. With a 6, you do hit. Your crossbow bolt goes right towards the arm holding that disc thing. It goes thunk right across the arm, passing straight through it.
Ooh.
You see the captain grasp his arm, and he seems to be trying to hold on to the disc. I'm going to be rolling to see whether or not he does. He does not. With a 9,
not
he
hold on?
absolutely does not hold on. The crossbow goes right through his arm, and the muscles just expand, and he drops the thing. It falls and smashes into the ground with a loud and resounding crack. Suddenly, the moment it hits, an explosion happens, pushing the captain backwards against the wall. Zolos, I need you to roll to avoid.
Is it gonna be 6 or what am I rolling against?
You're rolling a d10 and you're aiming for a 5.
Son of a.
Ooh.
Oh man.
I'm a paramedic.
So good news is you're not taking damage. The good news is you're not taking damage. The bad news is you are hit by a concussive wave that knocks you back into the next area, and you land prone on your back with the wind knocked out of you.
He's
The-
got concussed.
The
Noise.
disc shatters, and as it does, the pieces of it rocket off in various directions, streaking bolts of light that just ricochet off walls, off corners, and the table, and just bounces everywhere. I need all of you to roll to avoid again. Zolos, you're rolling a d12 because you are on your back. Fortunately, you drained people aren't drained right now, so you don't have to worry about that. So the rest of you are rolling d10s. However, you need to roll a 2.
Hey Matt, I'm hidden under the table.
Doesn't matter.
Dang it.
Not to make this worse for myself, but is this a powered
Oh.
avoidance?
This is a powers avoidance. You also have to roll a d12.
Yep. Okay.
Damn.
Damn, son.
Shit. Okay. Make a check. Hang on. But does our armor
Nope.
help it with the
It's
avoid?
made of paper mache.
Yeah.
Oh.
Does not help you at all.
Against unpowered attacks. Never mind.
Mm-hmm.
Dang it. Okay, so we're rolling a d10.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Okay, activity. Void.
Holy Toledo!
Lark, underneath the
Whoa.
table, you just roll as this bolt of energy goes shooting through the table and impales the stone inches away from your nose. However, the rest of you are all hit by these bolts of energy, and you all collapse for a moment. Each of you go dark, except for you, Lark. However,
And me, right?
what did you roll?
Do I have to roll? I'm way back here.
Yeah, you're part of it too.
Oh shit! I didn't think the range was that far.
Yeah. No, I said everybody.
For some reason, I thought you said everybody in that hex. I don't know.
No, I just said everybody.
Ugh.
Mm.
So you are hit as well.
Alright.
And it all goes dark for you. However,
Knowing
As-
that the doctor's the only doctor that we got, I'm gonna rush over to Dr. Bloom. Just be like,
well, hold on
wake
a second.
up!
It's not your turn yet.
Okay.
You are still up, Lark. However, this glowing triangle of white hot metal is impaled and smoking in the stone right in front of your face. However, you can also see the captain has been hit against the corner of the wall of the building, and it seems to have hit his head to the point that there is a long and jagged gash across his skull that's oozing this dark, blackish blood. However, it's his turn next, and on his turn, he is struggling to get up. He has to use his full action to try to push himself back up to his feet, and he is wobbling and clutching his head, and he seems dazed and disoriented. Skarn, it's your turn, and blackness has overtaken you. Your head is becoming filled with knowledge. Power begins to throb in the back of your mind, and you can feel it there. This point of energy that you cannot help but reach out for and grasp. Tell us a little bit about the power that has just awakened within you.
I think I'd actually prefer to leave it to you. You said you had a table.
I do have a table. I love this. That makes me so happy. I just need you to roll me a d20.
Chaos.
All right, let's see what we got here. D20.
Chaos.
Ooh.
Okay.
Interesting. Okay. Well, that's unique.
Uh-oh.
What's it get?
You get the power create illusion.
Interesting.
That was a 19. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about create illusion here. As soon as I can pull it up. Okay. You basically, at rank 1, you can create an illusion up to half your size, and which uses only one of the 5 senses. This illusion cannot deal damage or block movement. If a creature attempts to investigate the illusion, it must make a check to fool them, or you must make a check to fool them. The illusion lasts until you dismiss it or you create an illusion again. And there's a lot. It actually goes up to rank 10.
Neat.
So you have gained the power Create Illusion. And that's on page 31.
Sounds good.
I'll let you add that yourself.
I think in that case, probably as this power is sort of blossoming into existence, it's just countless images, scents, and sounds, all a barrage of sensory imagery going through Skarn's head as this sort of ability to generate these falsehoods sort of takes root, if that makes sense.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Your next round, you're going to reawaken with the knowledge and understanding to do this ability. Zolos, you're having a similar experience, trapped in darkness, but that gem, that beacon of power is right there, ready for you to grasp onto. Describe it for us, please.
I'd like to think when he's getting slashed and then when he's being blown back, he immediately started thinking of, I need some better protection. And he's going back to when he was a little child. And there's a lot of Fey creatures in and around their island, their little nation, because they're so close to the Feywild. And he always used to make friends with this one Fey creature that just kept showing up. And it's a little, I mean, it's probably tiny, but he's small, so I guess he's going to be able to summon tough creatures, is what it's the power he's going for. But his best friend when he was a little kid was like a 2.5 foot little blue turtle. And he pretty much is a knockoff Squirtle. But his nickname, he always called him Hydro. And so like I guess he just dreamt back to the time where he used to have this little protective friend that whenever he got lost in the water, this little friend was always there to help him out.
I love it. And Lark, as you're under the table, just like looking at this burning point of metal in the ground, you can't help but glance back towards the stairs leading up to the bunkhouse. And you see this tiny little turtle just climbing down the stairs and goes crawling over to Zolos to sit down on top of its chest.
Okay. Okay, that's fine.
That it must be weird.
That's yeah. That's it doesn't seem to be yep, it doesn't seem to be
sunglasses on and everything.
Okay, well that's a future problem. Yep.
Just wait till he pulls out his saxophone.
Oh Jesus.
Oh jeez.
Dreezy, you're up next, and quite similarly, you are unconscious, and there's a beacon of power just calling your name for you to reach out and grab. Tell us about it.
When I'm at first it's all black, and then I start seeing all these formulas and scientific drawings flash before my eyes, and I get a fit of inspiration. I rub my eyes and I look down at my hand, and it's this little device that I've been working on. I mean, it's nothing right now. It just looks like a little hunk of metal with like a few runes and stuff on it, but there was no way to power it. And I reach down and see one of those little shards that it explodes, and it's still glowing faintly, and I shove it in there, and it powers the thing up. And what it can do is it's teleportation minor.
Nice.
So I can try to teleport to a close location. And can I use an action this turn?
No, you're going to be able to do this next turn.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, yeah, that was my turn. I picked up the little shard, put it in there, and right now this thing is glowing and could possibly teleport me.
Yeah.
Or explode again. Who knows?
Who knows?
Explosion is always an opportunity or an option.
Mm-hmm. That is true. Lark, you are under the table, and there's a turtle on top of Zolos' chest, and the captain is wobbly getting to his feet, and everyone else is unconscious right now.
I'm gonna reload my hand crossbow and just go, Captain? Are you? That doesn't sound very promising, and considering you've already attacked us and probably killed all the dead people in here, I'm sorry, and I'm just gonna shoot him again.
Fair enough.
Is there disadvantage since he's prone, like in regular?
No, he's up. He used his
Oh,
whole
he did
movement
get up?
to,
Okay.
yeah, he used
Use his
everything
whole
to get
action
up.
to get up.
Yeah. So I remember he was struggling, so just so many ranged shots go awry.
Okay. Go ahead and take a shot. The captain's defense is a 6.
Right, shot. Okay. Which is a D10, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Ten. 8 is 6.
Nope.
I'm too nervous. I'm too scared.
You are too nervous.
Everyone's
and
unconscious.
scared.
Everyone's unconscious. The only other conscious person is a person who has authority over me. I'm scared.
That is fair. Dr. Bloom, you are also unconscious, and this glowing beacon of power is out there in the darkness that just begs you to reach out for it. Tell us about it.
There's a lot of hesitation seeing this bright light and what it could possibly mean, but the temptation to discover it, to know what it is just too much. It's too overpowering. So I reach towards it and instantly, like, thrown back into a former memory, and I feel something awaken inside me, and I just say, not again. I'm picking force field.
Force field. Like
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Nice. And for just a brief moment, this kind of globe of energy circles around the doctor before disappearing once again.
Well, that was okay. Okay, but like, wake up, please. Just gonna poke the doctor with my toe, please. Wake up, please.
As you're doing that, the captain has regained his footing at the top of the turn order, and those wild eyes just look at the thing that shot at him a moment ago. Those wild eyes, boom, directly at you, Lark. He is going to move one to get right next to you, reaching underneath the table, and is slashing at you with his fingernails, trying to just hit you. So I need you to roll to avoid, and you are rolling a 5.
Okay, and I can use the D8 from my armor because it's unpowered?
Yes, you would be able to.
Yay, okay. So, what just happened? Go away. There we go. Okay, activity. Watching. One die. Rolling a D8. And you said difficulty 5?
5.
Okay. Natty 1, baby!
Nat 1, very nice. He's reaching out, trying to hit you, and you just shove his arm back.
Not even. I just somersault backwards away.
I like it. Somersault backwards away. The captain is trying to climb under the table now and is attempting to grab you, to pull you out from underneath the table. So I'm going to need a second roll to avoid. Same DC.
Okay.
He's got 2 attacks, baby.
Ugh. Okay. That. And same roll, same difficulty. 2!
Nice. He's attempting to grab onto you, grab at your ankles, but you just kind of kick and wiggle your way free, and he is unable to grasp you, and you've managed to get to the other side of the table. Skarn, your eyes suddenly awaken and your mind is filled with power, and you see the captain half underneath the table trying to grab at Lark. What do you do?
Okay. So to stand up from prone, I assume that's a movement.
I would say yeah.
Okay, cool. Not that it matters since we're in the same space, but I like to ask these questions.
Yes, definitely.
Okay, yeah, so Skarn will sort of bolt upright, it just in a way that it really shouldn't be moving looking at it. And, I think if it's acceptable, it's, like, this isn't, a combat illusion exactly. I'm not trying to fool anybody with this. Comes to consciousness with this new power, just sort of liquid color starts dripping out of its hands all over the place, and it doesn't do any kind of, like, there's no actual effect, it's purely visual. And then it just sort of stumbles forward to try and punch this captain while he is bent down like this, and yeah.
Yeah, I like it. You're aiming for a 6 for the defense.
Rad. Let's see. And normally that would be a d12 since it's an unarmed attack, but I took the martial arts ability for Skarn since it's good at punching stuff in theory, but that just didn't work out today.
Didn't work out this time. You
It's
go
distracting.
to punch just as the captain is pushing himself out underneath from the table, and you hit the table instead of the captain.
Come to your senses.
Zolos,
Come to
your eyes awaken, and there is a turtle with sunglasses sitting on your chest.
Buddy, did I call you?
Just
Yeah,
gives a big
hey,
smile and a wave.
We're all right, Hydra. We're gonna talk later. We're gonna find out what you're doing here. You know what? I think I remember dreaming about you, but you know what? We'll deal with that later. I guess he's gonna have to try and kind of claw his. I guess he's on his back, so he's got. I mean, is that gonna be my whole movement to get up?
It will be your movement to get up, yes. You can move around in the hex you're in, but you would not be able to move to another one. You do have a crossbow,
right.
though.
Yeah. And a spear.
Mm-hmm.
We all have
Yeah, you do
spears.
have a spear. You would actually be able to use the spear to attack it, the next hex as well.
Yeah, you know what? Well, we'll do that. He's like, he looks down at Hydra, and he goes, it's good to have you back, buddy. And then I guess, I mean, do I just do it as a stabbing motion, or do I have to throw it at him?
No, you can just stab at him with the spear. It has a range of 1, so just make a roll to attack against a defense of 6.
6. And... Come on, here we go. There's it. And it's a 6. 6, 6, 6. Woohoo!
Nice.
That is a 2.
With a 2, you stab towards the captain, cutting him deeply along the back of his horse body, and he kind of cries out in pain.
Just say I stabbed him in the ass. Come on. We're beyond nice, niceties there. Yeah, I mean, I like that he does that, and he's like, wow. It's like normally they put one of you down when you get this lame.
So, surprising no one, we all see Zolos take a poke in an authority figure's behind.
Damn straight.
Dreez.
And he just leans down, gets a little fist bump from the turtle.
Jeez. Dreez, your eyes open wide, and you have an odd little device in your hand.
Yep. So I'm gonna walk over here, and I'm gonna take my crossbow, and I'm gonna light the end of it on fire, and I'm gonna fire it at the captain.
Of course you do.
Go boom!
Oh, no.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. So, I guess I'm gonna need everybody in that area to make a roll to avoid.
Is this unpowered? Does our armor help us?
Everything in the zone.
Everyone
yeah, that's
in
a lot.
the zone needs to make
Yeah, you guys
a
can do that,
difficulty. Or wait a minute. What is it? It is
4.
Don't you all wish you could have
Difficulty
attacked
4.
from another zone?
Is this a powered effect? Does
I
our
think it
armor
counts
help
as
us?
Powered.
I would say that no, this technically would not be powered.
Okay,
Thank
so we
I
can
goodness.
roll
don't
the
know.
8s.
Leather armor? I'm sorry, but I'm going to have to rule that leather armor is not going to protect you against a Molotov cocktail on a crossbow bolt.
Hmm.
I mean, unless there's concussive force, the leather armor could keep us from getting burns.
I feel like that's a bit of a stretch.
I'm trying real hard.
Sorry, D10, everybody.
Dang it.
Shit.
I mean, it's better than the 12.
Yeah, I'm going to say the captain has to make that check as well.
Well, what am I rolling to hit him?
Yeah, you're not really rolling to hit. Well, I
They're
guess you
rolling
could-
to avoid.
Yeah, they're rolling to avoid, so I'm going to say the captain's just
okay.
going to roll to avoid as well.
Okay, that makes sense.
See, think of it as automatically hitting. They have to dodge it.
Yeah, okay, I got you.
I mean, if you're wanting to make you want to hit the captain specifically with the bolt as well, and maybe do 1 extra point of damage, I'll allow you to roll for that. But if it's a grenade, so generally it would just affect an area.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
whatever it hits, it's just gonna explode,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, so I'm going to go with that. Anyway, activity. That's 1.
Hit the dirt. I like it.
The captain did roll a 3.
Oh no!
Oh, boo.
I rolled a 5. Although I'm
Yeah.
still technically under the table.
I feel
I
like
don't
that
know
would
if that
make it
helps.
harder to dodge.
Dang it.
Go ahead and make your roll.
I already. Well,
Okay.
I did.
You rolled a 5. Oof.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Well, it's just if he's aiming for a big tall centaur, he's aiming over top of the table. Is what
but
I'm
you
saying.
had made it to the other side of the table, dodging the captain trying to grab at you.
I'm
Sorry.
still under it. Dang
Nope.
it! I'm trying.
Yeah. So here's what
Grasping at any
happens.
straws.
Nico,
Lark,
boom!
2 points of damage. Skarn, 1 point of damage. Captain, 1 point of damage. Bloom, 2 points of damage.
Does that mean out?
That means that, so yeah. Here's what happens when you lose all your hit points. Because
Oh dear.
you got to go back to this now. Okay, if you take damage that would make your health negative, you would drop to 0. Well, you just dropped to 0. You can either choose to fall unconscious or take a last stand. Keep in mind that you also gain 1 effort from failing the avoid check, but nobody's really used effort this badly. You got to remember to use that stuff. Anyway, when you're unconscious, your body shuts down and tries to survive, and you cannot take turns or expend effort. You automatically fail any checks that require movement or senses. You cannot gain effort by failing checks. Damage you take while unconscious reduces your effort instead of your health. If you reach 0 health and 0 effort, you die. You cannot gain health or effort if you're dead. If you regain any health, you regain consciousness. When you regain health, you also gain the wounded, life-threatening injury at severity 3. Your other option is you can take a last stand, which means you have resigned yourself to death and are granted severe power boost in your last moments. You immediately gain 1 additional effort, so it would make it 1 over what your total is, just for this. All your attacks deal 1 extra damage. All your checks get 1 extra die. However, you cannot be healed. You only gain effort via the encourage action. You lose 1 effort at the end of each of your turns, and damage you take reduces effort instead of health. So,
Cool.
yeah, so Lark and Dr. Bloom, are you going unconscious or are you making a last stand?
I'm unconscious.
Let's not go hardcore too early.
Yeah, probably better bet at this point.
Well, it's also like Lark is brand new to here,
Mm-hmm.
and like is the captain and authority figure that she's afraid of worth this adrenaline rush and stuff? And it's like, no, she'd pass out.
The captain is also looking pretty jacked up, I will say, just so you know. So Dr. Bloom, how about you?
Okay, so just to reiterate, so last time I understand, if I go unconscious, I'm just...
You're out unless somebody can heal you. So
Weird.
somebody can come over and stabilize you and use their action to stabilize you and to stop you from dying or to like drag you out of harm's way. As long as nobody attacks you while you're down, you'll eventually recover.
Okay. And I can't sneakily suggest that, because I just recently got my power, a force field, that it automatically activates in this moment.
Now that's an interesting point, actually. How does the force field work?
I have to burn 2 effort for it. But it protects me. I just end up encased in this little bubble, and nothing hits it. Nothing can get through it.
So I'm just going to point out this. Yeah, it is a shield spell. Here's the thing about it. It costs an action to cast it by expending 2 effort. If it was like a reaction or something like that, I would say that yes, absolutely. But it does specifically say it's an action.
Okay. No, then in that case, then I'll probably also go unconscious.
Okay.
That's not leaving us any straws to grasp.
No straws.
I was gonna say,
Plucking
can
them
I
all!
spend any of my effort to help them?
Could you expend any of your effort to help them?
Yeah.
If you can explain to me a way to do that, sure.
I don't know. So like combo moves is only for an attack.
Yeah, combo moves is only for an attack.
Okay.
You can encourage. Let's see here. Help. A help action does not require an action. It just requires 2 effort to add 1 die to the check. So you could choose to help at any time to add a second die. So since we're learning this and we're just learning the game, I'll allow you to expend 2 effort to allow one person to re-roll the check to avoid the explosion.
Who do I choose though?
Choose Dr. Bloom. Choose the doctor
Yeah,
who
that's
can heal
probably
us.
a good idea. I will.
Also, the doctor is the only one who saw you putting together this crossbow. I was watching Zolos, so if I were to say something like hit the deck, fire in the hole, Dr. Bloom would probably have at least an inkling, whereas I would be like, what the fuck?
It's gonna go boom, hit the deck!
And if somebody else wants to expend 2 effort to allow Lark as well, I will allow it.
Yeah, if that's
Right.
okay. I feel like the best way Skarn can help here is just by being big and in the way, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, if you can both beat it, so Dreezy and Skarn are expending 2 effort to allow the 2 of you to re-roll.
Little money, no whammies.
Okay, Smith, and then what were we rolling again? A D10.
Mm-hmm.
Difficulty of 4.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the difficulty is pretty high.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Well, I'm glad one of us did. Thank you for the assist, though.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So Lark, you with the help of Skarn, letting you know to dodge right then, you do take only 1 point of damage instead of 2.
Okay.
So you are still conscious. Dr. Bloom is still unconscious. But Lark, it is your turn.
Since I'm right beside the doctor, I'm gonna go and because they went down, they popped back up, and then they went down again. So I'm just gonna go see if there's like any head wounds that I can kind of try to elevate so that there's not too much swelling in the brain. I don't know.
Yeah, absolutely. You can make a medicine check to try to stabilize the doctor, and at least you grab off your cloak and you press it against them to try to keep the blood from flowing too much.
Okay. So what would I be rolling?
You're just going to roll a D10 check. I think you're probably aiming for a 6 here.
3!
Ooh.
There you go. So you get down, you kind of wrap your cloak around, because it was a Molotov cocktail, so it's their whole body is just kind of burnt up from the fires. So you kind of wrap it around them. You pour some water from your canteen on your cloak and wrap it around their body, and you're kind of putting out those flames and stabilizing them. And and at least for the moment, as long as they don't take any more damage, they're probably going to be okay.
Can I try to drag them just a little bit, either under the table a little bit with me to give us some coverage, or give them some coverage?
Yeah, I'll allow you to drag them underneath the table to protect from Boomy Molotov cocktailing anyone anymore.
Yeah. And I'm going to put myself specifically in between the doctor and the captain, just so that if the captain decides to take another swipe under the table, I'm in the way.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Let's see. I don't think there's anything that you can do on your turn, Dr. Bloom. So in this moment, as you're lying there unconscious, burnt up across your body a little bit, what goes through your mind?
Hmm.
And do you smell like chicken?
I think that's probably the first thing that comes to mind. It's like, wow, we didn't get to eat lunch. I'm really hungry. Come on, I'm a bird of prey.
Jesus.
Uh, I'm probably just trying to, covered in burns. I'm just trying to walk myself through how I would heal through that process, because I know there's no way I'm getting up right now. So it's like, okay, I'm trying to keep a tally of where everyone is in terms of like health in the squad, and then walking through like, this is how I would heal these wounds specifically.
Okay.
Yeah.
It is the captain's turn, and the captain is looking wild at this point. Their arms kind of lull back and they're flopping around a little bit. The cracks along the head are becoming widened, and he's taken quite a bit of burns from that Molotov cocktail. Half of his face is just burnt and kind of sloughing a little bit, and the hands that are reaching out trying to hit are scorched and pocked a little bit, and like this kind of blackish tinge is starting to hit the fingertips, as though there is no blood circulation to the hands. It's very odd. He, however, is trying to take a swipe at you, Skarn. Because of the state that he is in, it is going to be affecting things a little bit. So he is making a melee attack against you. I need you to roll to avoid, and the DC is a 6.
Okay. And is this a thing the armor would help with?
Yes, it would.
Woo!
This is
Excellent.
just hands.
All right.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
Nice with that nat
Critical.
1. Absolutely.
Whew.
That's it for his turn. Skarn, you are up next.
Yeah, Skarn's not looking hot at this point. It's really in a situation where all it can do is hit or be hit. It's down to its last hit point, and there's no running away here. So it's just gonna keep on trying.
I want to help Skarn. Since
Okay.
I'd be in between the doctor and the captain under the table. I'm just gonna kind of try and trip up the captain's legs
Okay,
to
I
make it
like
so that Skarn can hit harder.
Okay. So that will give you one additional dice to roll for this attack, Skarn.
Okay, rad. Let's see how this goes then.
Yep. You're still aiming for a 6 for the defense, but you're rolling 2 dice.
Rad.
Ooh.
All right, yeah. Much appreciated.
Nice. Yeah, with that 3, you connect your gigantic maul of a fist, connecting right on the side of the skull. That as you hit him, it feels like you're punching an overripe melon, almost.
Oh no.
Part of the skull breaks away and drops to the ground, oozing this black sort of fluid. The captain stumbles backwards from this hit, as he's just reeling backwards in pain. He's barely holding on at this point. Do you use your movement, Skarn?
I don't think so, no. Because if he's going to come after me, he's going to use his movement and follow me anyway, right? So,
That's fair.
nah, I think we're just locked in. It's the big one.
Was I able to trip him up?
Oh,
Did
yeah.
he fall with the
Yeah,
hit?
no, that's why I said he stumbled back from that hit. That's what I was saying.
Okay, so, but he's prone now?
No, he's not prone.
Oh,
You tripping him up is what allowed Skarn to have that extra dice. So that's how you're helping.
Right.
It doesn't add any other additional effects. But it is Zolos' turn.
I think he's just gonna come in and stabby stab again. And so I guess he's kind of like, he didn't back up into like the next square, so he's just kind of on his back legs, very very rough looking.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, he's just gonna go up and I guess just kind of stab like right into his belly area, see if he can go for like a gut wound.
Okay. Roll your attack. You're aiming for a 6.
Mm-hmm. Oh shit! That's 1. That is a crit.
Very nice.
I don't know if it does anything extra special.
Deals an additional damage.
Oh, he's stabbing that horse.
Okay. Well, Zolos, tell us how this looks as you defeat the captain.
Well, as our obviously grotesque now, altered, not at all even convinced that this really is the captain, still captain, is just sitting there bleeding, looking horrified, his head's half there. He just kind of brings the spear up. I mean, I guess almost kind of like you see sometimes in movies where they get the spear up under a horse that's charging, and he just like plunges it right up into its chest. And as the weight of him is coming down, the spear just kind of snaps. And so now it's just a jagged piece of wood. It's just sticking out of his chest now.
Yeah.
As he just kind of like blood's just whatever color blood now, black is just pouring out of him.
And the captain's legs just sort of buckle as he goes down. His head just kind of lulls to the side. And you all just stand there for a moment, staring at the captain and what you've all done.
Oh shit, am I the captain now? He looks around seriously. He's like, that's how this works, right?
I'm dragging Dr. Bloom like away from any other dead bodies because I know infection is something that happens. So like, let's just get away from other dead things.
Now, one thing I will let you know is that over the course of your tour of the barracks, one thing you would have been made aware of is there is a small collection of healing potions that are kept in the armory in case someone takes a lot of damage.
Oh, I run. Full out sprint.
The armory is actually right here. You can see it. It's just this caged area in one part of the barracks. The door is not locked, fortunately. You go running into it as quick as you can. Give me an investigation check, Lark.
Okay. Did I take investigation? Hold on. Investigate. I did. Yay.
Okay.
So
then you can roll a D8. You're trying to roll a. I'm going to say this is going to be a 6.
Okay. Ready. Six. You find one health potion in among all of the clutter of one of the shelves. Just a small vial of reddish liquid in a little case. I scoop it up and I run back and I do a running knee slide right under the table over to the dog, and I just and pour it into their beak.
You know he's gonna make you roll for that when you complicate that.
No, I'm going to allow it, honestly, because it sounded pretty damn cool. You pour the potion.
I have the trait of small. If I can't knee slide under a table, come on.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
I mean, what's
I'm
even
here
the point,
for it.
Right?
You pour
Why
this
else
liquid.
would you want to be small?
You pour the liquid down the doctor's throat, and Ezra, you awaken, healing 1 point of health.
Beauty. Thank you.
You also, because you went unconscious, you also have a condition. You have the wound life-threatening injury at severity 3. So mark that on your character sheet. What that means is while you have this condition, you cannot regain health by resting.
Means we gotta heal you first.
Yeah, means you need to be healed from that. You have to be healed from your wounds before you can regain health from healing or from resting. Sorry.
Where would I add it on my character sheet, by the way?
You know, that's the one thing. These sheets don't have stuff for that. I would either...
if you click on abilities and attributes, and then you can add an attribute, and you can just name it wound, and then you have a current and a max that you can...
Oh, there
you go. That's a good idea.
That sounds good. Thank you.
Okay. You all sit there for a moment. The doctor coming to consciousness again. What are the rest of you doing as that's going on?
I mean, all right, Zolos is gonna pick up, because I guess, is there proficiencies with weapons in this? Or would that be like a special ability we'd have to take? Let's say he'd pick up the long sword and start checking the barracks.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Gotta
I
make
don't know
sure
if
there's
that's
not more of those
something-
things.
Okay. So Zolos and Skarn are going to start looking around the barracks, trying to see if there's anything else threatening in the area.
Until he
Dreezy?
disappears, Hydro is going to protect the doctor.
Yeah,
It's just like he'll take any hit for the doctor.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, that's
It only lasts like a minute,
Mhm.
but I mean, he's gonna poof away in a second. It's probably gonna terrify you.
Go for it.
Hey, you know,
I'll just
in
look
case
at the
we're-
doctor when it does and be like, it poofed in.
we're
so.
still in combat technically, you know, so until he gets rid of the order.
So here's the thing.
Yeah.
Like for a few moments, things are calm, and you start helping the doctor out from underneath the table, Lark, while Zolos and Skarn begin kind of walking around the barracks. Zolos with the sword in his hand. Dreezy, are you helping anybody out in this moment?
Yeah, I run over to the doctor too and slide under the table because I'm small. Help pull them out. I'm like, oh my god, I'm so sorry. I didn't know that explosion was gonna be so big. It was pretty fucking cool though.
Maybe out of shock, like all the like polite gruffness goes away, and the doctor just sleepily nods and is like, "Yeah, that was pretty dope. Not gonna lie." Does anybody need some assistance? Like, I still have the paramedic.
Can I assist you? Assist yourself?
I actually, that's the fun part about the paramedic talent is it has to be somebody else.
Shit.
That is true. What does the paramedic do?
At the cost of 2 effort, you can spend 5 minutes to attempt to reduce the severity of a wound affecting someone else.
Okay.
If they got it in melee. If it's in melee, so maybe it can't be used right now.
Yeah, so, I mean, yeah, nobody is wounded other than you technically right now. But I would imagine as you're getting helped out from underneath the table, you would be kind of checking over your compatriots who are all injured and are looking kind of hurt. However, as you're all getting up and moving away, and Skarn and Zolos are starting to examine the rest of the area, Dr. Bloom, I feel like you would be the first person to hear this sort of cracking sound, like a and then an explosion outward from the captain's cranium as that swollen mass on the top of his head explodes like a boil. You watch as these odd-looking, fin-like tentacles begin flailing up out from the skull, pushing outward as this massive, elongated, swollen brain begins to lift itself up out from the captain's skull.
Oh.
And that is where we're going to end things for this evening.
Oh no.
Thanks for ending it on an icky.
Because guess what, everybody? This combat's not over yet.
Oh, fuck.
Oh.
Oh boy.
But we're going to be picking things up here in 2 weeks' time to see whether or not our guard heroes can survive an encounter with, I don't know what, but it's big and it's icky and it's pushing its way out of the captain's skull. So I'm sure it'll be fine, right?
It's fine.
Yeah, definitely fine. But as always, we go around the table and have everybody tell us who they are and where we can find them on the internet. And Nico, you're the one who did the recap, so why don't you go ahead and go first?
Hi, everyone. My name is Nico. You can find me lurking on the internet on Instagram and Discord at static.blue.stray. And that's all for me.
Right on. Joe, you're next.
Well, I am Blood from Stone on Twitter. I would say normally you would catch me Wednesday as Cog in Curse of Strahd, but we're going to be delaying that one. There's going to be a special one-shot going on Wednesday, so I will see you back here in 2 weeks as your favorite self-absorbed, pretty boy.
Narcissist.
Yeah, that's a good one. That one works.
Yep. Okay. Nobody, you're next.
So I am on Twitter at patch_jacket and Blue Sky at Nobody Adams. That's Adams with 2 Ds. And I play quite a few of these games. I'm on 3 different games for All on the Table RPGs on the 1st and 4th Saturdays of the month, plus one of our pre-recorded games. And I'm also on 2 weekly podcasts. Us Weirdos Have to Stick Together, which is about queer representation in cartoons, and The Axe Files, which is a weekly reread of every single Animorphs book in order. It's a lot.
Love it. Alyssa, you're next.
I can be found on Instagram at Alyssa Crochets, where I make lots of little nerdy stuffies and toys and dolls and whatnot. Other than that, you can find me here on Random Rhapsody, playing various one-shots and whatnots. Yes, I know you're grumpy. I'm done soon. And and soon possibly at Bard Rock. We'll see. Yes,
Cool.
I know you're hungry. Say hi to the people. Here. There we go.
Oh,
Kitty.
such a big old fluffykins.
Say hello to say hello, Princess Samwise, to the people. Nope, you just get grump.
Yep. Just get great.
No.
Okay. Coins, you're next.
All right, I'm Coins. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, Discord at Devil Fetish. DEVILFETISH. That's it.
Right on. Well, I am Matthew R. Dawson, your friendly neighborhood host and game master here on the network. You can find me here every Monday and Wednesday running all these different games for these chuckleheads. It's always a lot of fun. Other than that, you can find me a couple times a month over on All on the Table, usually there on the 2nd and the 4th Saturdays at 2 p.m. Central. You can also find, what else am I doing? Actually, I think that's it for February. I'm not doing a whole lot except for the one shot that we are doing on Wednesday. So yeah, make sure you come check that out. Well, on behalf of everyone here in Æther-Shanties and everyone in the Random Rhapsody crew, I just want to say thank you, folks. It's been a delight. So long. Good luck. And until next time, may the winds ever fill your sails. Good night.